Alright, time for a fucking impromptu stream. No avatar this time, simply because this update is just too good to be ruined by my shitty avatar. So here we are at, finally, Project Zomboid Build 42 stable. I cannot fucking believe we are here. Oh, if you told me this was gonna happen this soon this year, I would have said you're a fucking liar. But here we are, boy. Oh, here we are. Alright, just making sure some things are good on the back end here. Don't mind me. Alright. That's good for now. Just doing some back end shit here. Alrighty. Now, let's go ahead and do this solo start. And I'm gonna put a little background music on. Hopefully y'all don't fucking hear it, cause I don't want to get copyright struck. And if I am, oh well, fuck it. That's just my luck. Alrighty. Alrighty. Now, I'm not like your typical Zomboid player. I'm very much more into the fun of building shit and roaming around. So we'll be doing ourselves a nice Wiresync playthrough. And let's see what we got here. Do I dare? Do I? You know what? Nah. I'm going to keep it classy. We're going to start at Rosewood. Nice, easy, simple start. From what I've seen so far, it has been a pretty decent little fun amount of stuff that's been going on here. And I'm actually very curious to see what else is in here, because I just kind of did a quick run through earlier. Didn't really do much interesting shit. First thing I do know, though, I gotta get rid of this fucking Sunday driver. It's just not worth it. There's no plus one traits anymore, so it's not like it's gonna fucking hurt. So let's go ahead, save, because I want to be able to whip a bitch. And of course, we're gonna bring in the one, the only, Zomboid in his true ultimate element. Lord help me, I have not played this thing with headphones in so long. This shit's loud. Oh well, I don't fucking care. Hopefully it doesn't, here, I'll do this. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't, like, misbalance and, fuck up my sound on the other end, but we'll see. So how the fuck y'all doing on this Wednesday? Having fun? Existing? Trying to survive? That's all we can do. Alright, no bullshit. Put on the swank. And if I stutter, I'm sorry, but it's gonna feel swift. Rain fucking nice, the one that can't be looking in it. I'll be pushing it down, just pretending it doesn't exist. I'm not gonna lie, I'll laugh if I get copyright struck for just singing this shit. Alrighty, it looks like all my stuff sticks. So let's see, what do we got here for this first start? I'm looking for can opener, because trying to survive here. Okay, I have no idea where I am at this house because everything in this city has changed. Like, I've been, just from the little bit I've seen, it has blown my fucking mind so far, and I cannot wait to see what else these other cities have in store for me. Nor can I, oh fuck, sweet, can opener. It's a shitty old school can opener, but it will work. Keep me a knife, fuck that meat cleaver, that's just not my style. Go over here, go to my backpack, put it on my back. Now, it does look like we're actually in the midst of town, unlike I was when I first got into here in the new version. When I first fucking loaded it, it was, there's like this, it threw me off because I had no idea, like, they were going to add this here. There's like this little area now next to the fucking, drive-through. It's like a little, pretty much where the person who will work there lives, and it's like, I guess I was supposed to be that guy. And it's just like a little trailer, and it was like, it confused the shit out of me. Fuck, I hear him. Alright. Let's go out and fuck with him then. Cause I don't need you breaking my fucking windows. Where you at? Where you at, little shits? Am I tripping? Y'all fucking hear that too, right? That's far off. I know that. Okay, guess there is no one around my house. Fuck it then. I hear the fucker somewhere. I know y'all hear that shit. I'm not the only fucking. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Smoking pipe, that could be useful. I do have a smoker tray. Holy shit, I've never, no sound effects. Oh. Alright, what the fuck? I hear a bunch of them just going against... Oh, there we go. Okay. That makes fucking sense. I'm about to say, I know I went insane. Alright, looks like I'm near... I'm not gonna run around a bit. Come on, you little fuckers. Oh, there's a fuck ton in there. That's why I'm hearing them. Come here. His ass with the... You know you want it. And boom, fucking skull. Alright, Jimbo Dean is, getting his shit on. Okay, there is a lot of that. Even for this one. I can't just let you out either, so... Sorry. Yeah. Usually I just let them out and just start whooping ass, but I don't really feel like waiting. Alright. What do we got in here? Okay, now I can go around the back way. Oh, fight me IRL, boy. Oh, sweet military backpack score. Don't know how that fits inside my backpack, but here we are. Alright, let me go around the back way. It looks like there was a big ass fight and he fucking failed. Oh my. Military. Oh man, that was shit. Hey, bring it on, bring it on. Oh, hey, outside in the rain. Sorry, you're gonna hear some random fucking shit coming from me today because I got the like playlist on. I got everything in it from Rocky Horror Picture Show to old fucking new metal. Where are we at here? Come on, there's gotta be a fuckboy around here. I hear him. Alright, somebody just broke a glass. Which glass? Through the tears in my eyes. Where the fuck y'all at? I hear you little shits. Oh. There's a little shit. He's in here. Yeah, well, he can have his way. I don't really give a shit. Alright, here's another one. Come on. Bring me that ass. Bring me that ass. There we fucking go. I just gotta fucking applaud this, man. Like, look at how much it has changed. Oh yeah, I thought I was here. I was here earlier. This is the new gated community section in Rosewood. Oh, or is it? Or am I tripping? Nope, it is. Yep, that is. I'm gonna have to get way more familiar with this. The whole fucking map is just... At least the more important parts have changed. There we go. When you not, he thought you were a candy man. Don't get strung out. Ooh, by the way I look. Don't judge a book by its cover. Now, I haven't been inside these houses yet, so I'm going to have a little fun and explore them. I gotta find me some smoke out here, because, you know, my boy he gonna take his nicotine. Real life imitating art. Okay, there's a lot more than tonight. Look at it. Fuck you. It's me. Alrighty. Fuck yeah. Alright. Watch. Alright, we gotta do this little watch, everybody. We are in good stride. Whoop that ass. Alright. Steve is moving. I'm glad we can do it home. Can we use your phone? We're both in a bit of a hurt. One thing I would like is maybe they will work on it. At least I'm noticing it now that my fucking headphones are in. A lot of the sounds, distance-wise, just are kind of mishmashed. Like, as you all saw, like across the fucking street, there are a bunch of zombies that were in the place, and yeah, I should be able to hear them, but it should have felt more far away than it actually was. Whoop that ass. Oh, yeah. I probably should turn on 3D models again now that I'm not like in a crazy unstable run. I usually turn it off whenever I'm like in reruns. For some reason, when a bunch of shit gets dropped, it's, you know, the 3D models are just weren't cutting it as much. Whoop that ass. There we go. Come on, bring that ass, boy. Man, it just feels so fucking good. Look at this. Oh, that's just got some weight. Alright, where the rest of y'all at? Oh my god, do not break that fucking gate. I don't know if they can, but do not break that fucking gate. That's why I came in here. I'll open this for you. Come on. Fight me. Fight me. Yeah, I'm gonna make this my fucking, my base. Oh, okay. No. Okay, I got mad for 2 seconds. I thought they broke the gate down already. But no, that's just a pillar. That's nice. Alright, are any of the other ones coming my way? It does not look like it. It looks like we can begin exploring, y'all. So I'm going to start further away from this street over here. Because I'm probably going to choose this house or this house. Because I really like this fucking deck it's got. But I also like that pond back there. Like, I got some fancy ass shit. Like, I remember when this street was just... Well, hell, anybody was playing fucking Unstable can remember this street was just like a long strip of very similar ass houses, but now it's like, man, it's fucking clean. Yo! Oh man, when the FWO mod's gonna be set up, this house is gonna be nice. I also noticed that at the, well, we'll get there. I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone who has seen it, but the fire station, oh my god, fucking chef's kiss. Fucking chef's kiss for what they've done so far. Warrenwood song? What kind of lame shit is that? Alright, I'll have to find a better wood saw eventually. Welding for later. Man, this house got a lot of... There we go, my favorite sidearm. Next to a pistol with a silencer, but none of the mods are in yet, so I don't think we have silencers. That would be something if they just added it in natural would be nice. Maybe they'll get around to it. They said they were, diving deeper into making the weapon. Oh, sweet. What's up? They said they were diving into making the weapons better. They got a actual military guy in there, you know, they're... Where the fuck? Please do not break the gate. Eat my ass, piece of shit. Get on the ground. Fuck you. Alright, fine. I'm probably gonna get bit for being stupid. Fuck you! Oh, one shot, one kill, huh? Alright, where's the other one, man? I hear you. Oh, man, I need my drugs mod back. I'm not used to getting exhausted this easy. At least he got my boy, cranked the fuck out so he just doesn't feel this. There you are! Come here, you little shit. Whoop yo blank. Alrighty. Alright, the real this I'm back over. Now that my fucking gates are in, of course. And I don't have the mod to pry that bitch open, so I'm gonna have to either bust it down the hard way. Some things I just miss, like, as a fucking guy who's just a little too nerdy for this game, can we get just a crowbar being able to do crowbar things, like, with common sense? Like, that's one mod I'm really hating not having right now, like, just being able to actually, like, pick shit open or pry it open. It's just such a better thing. Like, I guess for the balance sake of things, but I mean, crowbars aren't that regular, so like, I feel it's balanced enough. An old style stove, man, you know there were some fucking hipsters who lived in this damn house. I mean, it's supposed to be the 90s, just come the fuck on, man. Nobody's that damn crazy. That's usually some shit you do. Maybe, I guess maybe if a survivor was here, they, you know, did like I would do and just say, fuck it, we ball. I don't know. Checking in spots I usually check if I have mods, but... Oh, I heard you, you little shit! I knew I heard one of y'all up here. You can't fucking confuse me. Right, where the fuck the other one's at? Oh, antibiotics, nice one. Okay, where the fuck? Let's get one of those. Washington, oh, Woodcraft. Oh my god, that's like gold. I've already missed the first episode of it, so I'm kind of gonna take that as a sign of dopeness. Alright. Chill for here for a sec while I answer some text in the real world. Don't command me. Talking shit with my fiance real quick about some stuff. Any fucking way. Let's see what we got here. Some sheets. I kind of want to bring those with me because those will be useful for blocking off my windows, but at the same time I kind of don't want to waste the space right now. Okay. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I do have to go through this. I see. I'm guessing you were probably a survivor or someone who lived here. No, if you lived here, you'd know that person would walk in there. So yeah, probably a survivor got in here and was like, oh geez, Rick, and then shit went sideways. Alright, let's go back to this fucking room so I can start organizing what I got here. Sit on the ground. Alright, we got a military backpack. What the fuck does this guy have? Alright. Adhesive tape, a beer, because of course they did. Copper scrap, get that out of my fucking sight. Money, get that out of my sight. Ruby, get out of my fucking sight. Well secluded. I see y'all. With a bit of a mind flip, you're into the time slip. And nothing can ever be the same. It's a subtle sensation, like you're in the sedation. Can't really hit that fucking note, that'll just fucking blow out the microphone at the moment. Not that I can't fucking hit it, it's just I don't have my mic set up for that type of belting. Evolving. You took a minute, you took a blind surprise. Pick up truck and the devil's eyes. It's been me and I found a change. Time and nothing never would again. Alright, now I got my military backpack. So here, let me grab a couple of these sheets. Better to have some and not need them than need them and not have them. It becomes so fucking annoying. They're really driving me insane. Let's do the time warp again. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do the time warp again. Amazing movie, by the way. It's probably a little fucking theater kid in me that never died, but I didn't fucking choose theater kid life. Theater kid life chose me. Fucking sucks. If you ever want to know what the most annoying thing that can happen to you in school in my day, it was pissing off your middle school English teacher to where... Actually, no. I can't even blame that on that. Like, we did do that, but that wasn't the point. Just being too good at fucking writing and that in English class and being thrown into a theater class for script writing. And you end up with a bunch of fucking nerds. To be fair, I am a nerd, but fucking theater nerds, man, have just kind of... They got a bad fucking rep on them nowadays. Now, back in the day, we used to sing some fucking show tunes, hang the fuck out, just be chill. Now they're all fucking doing crazy shit. You know how fucking insane that is? Have everything slightly interesting taken away. Like, come the fuck on now. Hell, they're even taking Halo from me now. Like, fucking hell. Like, I knew Halo was dead. Like, let's not fucking mince words here. As an OG Halo fan, I'm talking about from back when they announced the motherfucker and it was still going to be on Mac Halo fan. A person that's actually played Marathon Halo fan. Oh, fucking don't get me started. Don't get me started. 343 was a fucking mistake. I always knew it was going to be a fucking mistake. When I knew who was one of the fucking lead writers in that studio, we're not going to mention any names, but he did do Contact Harvest, let's just say that. And Contact Harvest told me all I needed to fucking know about what was about to happen with 343 Studios. And, oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, fine. Alright, time to get bitten. Let's go. Bite me IRL. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Get off my fence. Get off my fucking fence. Get off my fucking fence. Bitch! I fucking told you to get off my fence! I worked hard to steal this neighborhood. I ain't gonna lose it now. It's too damn early to lose. Where the fuck you at? Bring me that ass. Bring me that ass. Bring me that ass. Bitch! Fucking cracking skulls in this bitch. Let's go. Who's next? Who fucking wants it? You want it? You standing there looking like you want it. You fucking want it, don't you? Shit. There we go. You know... Okay, now I'm back to normal. Fun thing, can we get, like, some lawn darts in this bitch? Like, I know they were technically illegal by now, but as someone who grew up in the fucking 90s, I was one of the very many families who still had an entire set of lawn darts, the original ones, left over, because just because they banned something doesn't mean it magically goes away. I mean, you're supposed to, like, turn it in, but, like, they don't really fucking care, you know? Like, they were like, hey, yo, this kills people, you know, be careful, we warned you, so don't sue us. You should probably send them back in, you know, they're very dangerous. And then I'm like, every regular ass person who doesn't look at those fucking recall notices, like, oh, fuck it, I'll just keep it in my basement. Next thing you know, you got 7-year-olds out in the front lawn throwing lawn darts at each other, with the only thing in the back of their mind being like, let's not kill each other. You know, that's what our parents say. As long as we don't kill each other, it's all cool. Is there another one up here? Another one up here? I don't hear one, but I would suspect one. Okay, where the fuck are we at? But yeah, back to my stupidity. What? From the beginning of 343, I knew Halo was in terrible hands. Like, there's a lot of people out there who love Reach and also don't know how much 343 was involved with Reach. Yes, Bungie was the main studio on it, but it was the transfer title. So they're responsible for the multiplayer. I hated the multiplayer Reach, sorry. I don't fucking like loadouts in Halo. I didn't like extra fucking skills like sprint and shit. It just seemed so stupid. They changed the entire balance of the fucking game. Like, this coming from a guy who played Halo 2 online from beginning to end in all of its flaws, all of its infinite green the sword insta kills, green the battle rifle insta swaps. Like, I went through some really stupid shit in Halo 2, you know, glitches and all. And it was fun, it was amazing. Yet I still played that bitch. I still love that bitch. But, oh, fucking, Reach was probably the first one I did not play the multiplayer that much at all. I just did not fucking care. I played Halo 3's multiplayer to no end. Tried so hard to get past fucking max rank major. I got to fucking, what was the max rank raider? I think Colonel was after major. I think I got to Colonel just barely before they changed the entire structure of how fucking things are calculated. Next thing you know, everybody and their mother has a, for the lack of a better term, fake ass general ranking that you didn't really earn because it wasn't based off your actual skill like the original balancing of Halo 3 was. But hey, who the fuck cares? You know, who the fuck cares about logic? Who the fuck cares about anything that makes any goddamn sense anymore? But yeah, this fucking happens. I would get the Magnum, but I'm not a big Magnum guy, nor a patrol revolver guy here. Last thing I want is shit that's gonna hit hard. Oh, bench amble. That'll be nice. I'll come grab that bitch later. Oh, a flashlight. Don't mind if I do. Really? I'm already full. Well, shit. Fuck the Ramadan. Ain't that a son of a bitch? Alrighty then. Fucking next house. I'm just gonna have to accept the fact that I've already maxed shit. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one of these houses will this Negro go? I will fucking go over here because you growled at me in a very stupid way. Thank you, somebody. Get on the fucking ground. Get on the fucking ground. That's fucking right. What the fuck you learn? Nothing, because you're dead. Anyway. I'm actually curious, did they fix these, this annoying sliding glass door issue I had? Matter of fact, just because they're sliding glass doors. Fuck this house. Come on through. Come on through. Come on through. Come on. Come on! Come on, baby! Right. Who's next? Who wants to fuck? Who wants to get fucked? I really... Okay. Oh, that fucking zombie kind of looks like Mr. Brolo's avatar, huh? Interesting. They really need to, like, back to my point I was trying, they really need to find a more fitting way to make, here, before I talk shit, let me see if they did. Let's add a sheet. This is a test. It's just a little test. I want to see if this has been fixed yet. No, it still looks stupid. Of course it is. We need a better way to make that look like, just to me it just doesn't fit. Like I just want to be able to like actually block out an entire fucking window. If it was an actual sheet in real life, you could duct tape this bitch and damn near cover the entire sliding door. But here we are. Fuck it. Here we go. Little nitpicks. I have to nitpick because like look at this fucking map. It's hard to find any fault at the moment. Like I love how everything's come together in this new fucking thing. Probably gonna get my ass bit because I'm focusing way too hard on them. Okay. Oh, sweet. Oh my god, these garages are nice. Alright, back against the wall real quick because I gotta answer text and I don't want to get snuck up on by a dumbass. so true. And that is why. I just realized, I'm sorry, I got this Kanye West joint on from the new one. Does this fucking thing say made by Kanye West and Ye? Is there a rapper that's just Ye now? Because in my fucking mind, Ye is Kanye West. Or have we hit the point where Kanye has multiple personalities and he's putting them both on there with their own feature for his own goddamn song? Because if that's the case, I'm all on board. Insanity only gets so insane. And that man has... Fuck if that man hasn't hit a level of insanity I hope I never see in my lifetime. Don't do drugs like that, kids. That destroys brains. Even the low end drugs destroy brains, kids. Just drink responsibly. Do your marijuanas responsibly, but do know it is making you stupider. Like, I can't even fucking lie, but oh my goodness. Oh fuck. Nope, I do not like that. I had a little deja vu. I have it way too often. It kind of sucks. Considering I've never seen this house before in Project Zomboid or anything like it, it just makes it worse. Because now I'm wondering, like, what fucking deja vu point am I at? Man says, as he just said, he hopes he never goes as insane as Kanye West. But he's over here talking to himself about deja vu. But at least that's a fucking phenomenon we all experience. I just get a little worse. Oh shit, that Gucci Marks is on. Shit. I don't know this one as well as, Shot My Dog, but you motherfuckers. I hear you. I fucking hear you. Don't you dare break it. Don't you fucking dare. You know what? I'm gonna go in there and whoop some ass, man. Come on, fuck it. Let's go. I'm ready to whoop some ass. I'm mad. When any song about a song comes on, I always get a little mad. Because he exists. And I have to breathe the same air as this fucker. Anyway, wham, bam, fuck your Hawaiian shirt, man. Oh, what you want to do? Fuck, you want to do, bitch. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do? And you're on the fucking ground, dead. What have we learned? Wait, there's another one. I hear it. I fucking hear it. Where is he at? Where is he at? Taking this resident key, because this actually might be the key to this house. Ooh, something about to bite me. Oh, there little shit is. That's what we're gonna jump. Yes, come on. Come on, fucks with me. Fucks with me. Woo! Fuck you. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Violence. Anyway. Back over the fucking fence. For anyone who's curious, I do have easy climb on. I do, if I'm playing a serious run, I play with it off. But, if I'm just having fun, I'm going to fucking do what I want. Alright, where's me smokies? Gotta have a little smoko. Come on. There we go. Now, get these nerves off. My boy, he's been whooping a little too much ass. He need a little break, a little smoko. Fuck yeah. I respect that the cough is more pronounced now. Oh, I fucking hate alarms! Well, this neighborhood's burnt. Alright, at least until later. Fuck me, man. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, at least I can get in this car. Oh, I didn't even trip there was a key in it. I was just ready to immediately. Somebody must. Oh, fucking alarm is annoying shit. Okay, what errors am I getting here? Like, are they just misload errors? Because I have no mod on. There shouldn't be anything that should misload. I wish the fucking magnifying glass mod was going up. Well, the alarm's off. I return there after like a couple of minutes when I feel it's less burnt. Also, look at this. Look at this. A fucking training place for drive. What? Oh shit! Let's go! Fuck you! I need more training. Woohoo! Oh, that one actually got it. Okay, I don't have Sunday driver on. This motherfucker shouldn't be burying the needle like this. Alright, let's head back to the town, because this is the main junction here, what used to be the main junction. Alright, we got a Danish school. No, waltz. It's like a waltzing school. Oh, look at that. Now that is Midwest here. If you're not American or haven't been to Midwest in America, this fucking neo-Victorian style housing, it's everywhere. It feels like a little mix of everything, you know. It just makes it feel more legit. All right, come on, you little fucks, follow me. Follow the car. Follow the car. Okay. If you hear me. Oh, okay, now you guys get to see it. Look at this shit. First of all, that right there is like right close to my heart. Like, if you've ever been up north in like Illinois and Rosemont, you'll see like a mural like this on one of the buildings. That's so fucking Midwest. It's lovely. And look at this. Look at this fucking fire station. Like, fucking bro. Look at this shit. Oh, it's fucking legit. Oh, somebody's growling. And it's you. See what I mean? Like, that shouldn't have been that fucking loud with how far away she was. Like, they fixed the lighting. I need them to fix the sound a little bit more. Like, there should be more balance in the sound. Like, I shouldn't feel like a zombie's right, like, in the middle of my fucking ear. Fuck me, man. Like, I feel like this fucking zombie is tongue fucking my ear right now. It's ridiculous. Come on. Go. Fuck with me. I'm just gonna kill you all. I'm tired of hearing you fucking breathing in my damn ear. Fucking die. Oh, you want to go? Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And you're dead. Now I can continue my damn tour without being fucking audio screwed by a damn zombie. Oh, never mind. I'll fucking die. Come on, come on. Come get this. Listen to me, stupid ass. Now, for anyone out there saying, hey, you could just, sound balance yourself. Yes, I can, but the sheer distance from some of these, I should not be hearing this so prominent. I may be the only fucking person thinking this. Like, I'm very particular about sound and sound balance. Like, when we went to the age of Blu-rays and every fucking movie sound balancing was just garbage when it came to, like, home release, God, did that piss me off. Oh, hell, to be fair, even now I kind of get pissed off because streaming has the same fucking problem. If not, sometimes it's exacerbated because they're formatted terribly for streaming because they just want to get it on the fucking platform, and then all of a sudden, we got this bullshit. Oh, fuck it, whatever. That's life, I guess. Has Halo showed us, profit means more than anything. But then I guess if profit meant more than anything, why didn't you listen to the fans about what Halo should be? Instead, you butt-fucked it into tomorrow. And nobody's ever coming back. Because we have 3 different fucking iterations of the game we love. We don't need your shitty campaign involved. Campaign is your fault. Look at me, I'm so involved. Yeah. Fucking assholes. Anyway, And on a more fun note, look at this fucking fire station! Look at this shit! There's assholes outside, but fuck them for right now. I don't really care. I'm on a little tour. I'm having fun. Turn the light on. Look at this shit. Everything's just moved to like be more logical. Like this is still here, but it just fits better. And then you like, fuck it, let me go over here and I'll show you what I mean. Like, get this shit real quick. Munch, munch, munch. Oh my god. I know none of you are in this fucking building, so you should not be that loud in my ear, but here we are. I guess you can argue that's balancing for like the sake of the game itself, which if it is, so be it. But I really wish it was more. Look at this. Look, you got the showers that are more like in the police stations, and it's just more legit. Look at the dual lighting. Oh shit! So you can actually just be like, oh, I want some light on back there. I don't want it on up here. That's fucking awesome. I know I'm getting geeked out over some really stupid shit, but god dang it, it's just. Wait. Where you at? I hear you. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at, bitch? I hear you. Fuck you at? Where you at? Fight me. Fight me IRL. Fuck. This still... Okay, I used to do this all the time whenever I would make this my base and I had a sledgehammer. I would knock out these fucker walls, put in like a door or a window. Because I always felt it was like a waste to have all this damn space here and not use it. Like, come on. And now they got this little thing. Look at this. It's got so much character. Look at that shit. It's fucking awesome. Holy grub. And that's gotta stop. That's gonna piss me off. Anyway. Boy. I can't stop gushing about this. Look at this. It's right connect. This is how it would be. It would be right connected to the fucking... Oh, I love it. Because this isn't like, you know, permanent thing. It's like, this is where you stay if you're like late nighting it. You know what I mean? If anyone's known firefighters and known first responders, you know, sometimes you got to be there in the middle of the night. You can't be at home and be on call. You got to be here and be on call because you got to be able to get to your equipment, get out there and help people. So if you're on a night shift, more than likely you're going to have like your stuff in here. You're going to be like, oh, you know, I'm putting all my stuff in here. You know, in the morning, if I'm a little too tired, I'll, you know, take a little nice sleep and then I can go home. You know, it's really nice. It's really nice. And then, you know, sometimes you get caught up in those days where you're running fucking 18, sometimes 20 hours, depending on, you know, how much you want to ball. But then you gotta just fucking get a little sleep here. And look at this. Look at this. The third floor. It's all the equipment. Like, this used to be downstairs. This is fucking awesome. And it's, like, proper. Like, you have, like, instead of just one fucking treadmill and then 2 of these for some fucking reason, you actually have, like, 3 of these because, you know, you would have a full set to match the set. Because once you've warmed up, you're going to want to get on the fucking bench. Of course you are. Like, what the fuck? Fuck's just gonna come in here and walk. Bullshit. Anyway, this one though, this is a more particular one. This is like a specific way of. It is a training apparatus, but it's a training apparatus for a different type of scenario. Usually, like, you could get on there and do some like nice on pull-ups. You know, you could do some reverse pull-ups. You know, you can style on people with it. You know what I mean? Back around. So this is how it ends. But yeah, but man, it's fucked up that in the state that both entertainment and gaming are, that an update for a game as old as this one and an update for a game that isn't as old as this one, talking about Power Growing 1.0, has been like some of the bigger moments in gaming for me this year. Like, it's fucking wonky. Like, if you told 12-year-old me that I'd be more excited to be playing a zombie game based off the isometric design of the original Sims rather than play a brand new spanking graphically beautiful supposedly Halo, and I say supposedly because people lean way too hard on Unreal 5's bullshit ass engine now, and instead of actually, using it for what it should be. And for anyone out there who doesn't know, because a lot of people like wanted to be a fucking animator or a fucking VFX guy like me and my friends, so not everybody's gonna know this crazy bullshit, but I tend to go out and like look at all like the dev diaries and shit for that for like indie studios, and some of the people that are out of the game, people who like did original, like people who did Jurassic Park. One of the people from Jurassic Park that did the VFX said they would have killed to have something like Unreal 5 back in their day because of the sheer amount of shit you could do in it. But that goes to show you the difference between an artist and someone who's doing this as a job with a I'm not gonna say agenda because now I'm having agenda. Some are just trying to fucking work. I thought one of them was ripping ass, dog. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, damn, what is that sound? I thought it was one of these boys ripping ass. Fucking die. Alright, there we go. But yeah, it's like I'd have killed for this shit. And you know what? I don't agree. Like if you look at like what they had back then and what they have now, I guarantee if you gave those people back then with their will to be artistic and push the boundaries, the amount of technology they have today, they would not only put what they did back then to shame, they would put anything we've seen, even on some of the best scale of shit, to shame. Because people right now are clearly running off like a half-assed approach to things, like a good enough, like oh, it renders good enough, so we can put these assets in here with this base rendering, and it's so easy. Look at this. When an actual artist be like, oh, now that it's made all this shit easy, let me spend some time on the shit that isn't easy and make it better. But fuck it, no. Oh no. That'd be too fucking logical. No, that'd make too much damn sense. Fuck me, you know? Shit, I'm pissed. Like, Halo Campaign Evolved, done by a team that gave a fuck and respected the original Halo's lore. Not even just the original Halo, just the lore. How do you fuck up the lore so bad? Like, I saw lore, like I said, 343 was more involved and more people want to believe in Reach. I saw lore go into shit with what happened with Reach. I personally hate Reach's campaign on a lore level. I like it on a story level. It was a really good fucking story. But it doesn't work in the lore that was already established by Bungie in the books at the time as being canon, because it completely fucks up the entirety of Ghost of Onyx, and arguably everything that came before and after that with how they mismatched a bunch of Spartan 3s in an era when they shouldn't know Spartan 3s fucking exist! Because there were only so many fucking crews. We knew every fucking crew because we... And even if you want to fucking argue that the one crew in Ghost of Onyx was the one that was on Reach, we didn't get that story. We got a completely new story. And I don't mind it being a completely new fucking story, but keeping your own fucking lore. And when you started forgetting little shit like that, that's when I fucking knew we were done. Because the asshole who made Contact Harvest fucked lore all kinds of sideways in Contact Harvest. What the fuck were the brutes doing there already? Why were the grunts making the goddamn brute chopper so early on? We shouldn't even had a battle rifle that early on, but here we fucking go. We not only had a battle rifle, we had a fucking TTR ammo for it. Fucking assholes. They ain't give a fuck. That's what I'm saying. And I get very pissed about it because after Halo 3 ODST, I was ready for a new age of Halo. I was like, we've gotten the Chief story. We've gotten the beautiful trilogy. We've gotten the ending. We've even got this nice little capstone of what happens around Chief with ODST. We were shown that the world could be opened up. For anyone who's a Red Letter Media fan, when Star Wars tried to open itself up when Disney bought it, they were one of the people who were immediately called out, it's just a bankrupt universe. It's not that you can't do stories in Star Wars. It's that the stories you do are going to be contiguously similar because there's only so much you can do with the universe as it's represented. And anything outside of that, most modern audiences, not even real modern audiences, not the fucking bullshit modern audiences, real people who are actually going to theaters are not going to give a fuck about like an Andor. You couldn't have made Andor the movie and made as much money as Star Wars should make or Disney wanted Star Wars to make. It was never going to be a fucking Marvel level property because you can't expand that universe beyond certain aspects. There's only so much you can fucking do with it. But with Halo 3 ODST, we were being shown there was so much more to this universe. Anyone who fucking read the books already knew that. But seeing it in the games and seeing what could be done with it, and you could even make an entire game mechanic around it. Like, you went from being the walking tank that is Master Chief to being an ODST. Some of the badass, most badass fucking Space Marines out there in the UNSC. But at the same time, they're still fucking human. It takes multiple of them jumping up on one to beat a brute. They can't just take on elites in hand-to-hand combat. They gotta be sneaky. They gotta think about it. They gotta be above and beyond in ways that augmentation and armor was not gonna make up for with them because they didn't have it. They had to work with what they had. And then even you got to be part of the drop and see how crazy it is. It's like ODSTs are kind of remind me of like real life fucking Halo jumps. Like, people who do those, like paratroopers who do that shit, to go in behind enemy lines and go in and make thing and that's the word I'm looking for. Pathfinders in this specific thing used to go in and find and, you know, have to get in and help and like tell us where the landing zones are, tell them where we could drop our people so we don't have to contiguously do these ridiculous over-the-top jumps. ODSTs were like that in Halo. They were the ones you dropped in scenarios where you knew shit was going to go sideways, where you couldn't get a Spartan. They were the best you had, even though you know they couldn't do everything that you needed them to do. They could get enough done so that those who needed to come in after the fact could. Hell, I bet most motherfuckers who actually are playing the modern Halo don't know that technically Johnson and Keyes were both Spartan 1s. No one ever mentions that. That's why they have different armor and That's why Johnson has different armor from every other fucking Marine, even ODSTs in Halo 3. It's because he was specifically the precursor to it. Before they had all the augmentations, before they were just basically regular ass super soldiers, before they knew they were going to be able to make the Majorna armor movable, because by the point when they made them Spartan 1s, the proto-Spartans, if you will, Majorna armor just could not fucking function in the field because there was no power source good enough that it could be portable. Like, there's entire books, graphic novels based off of like how they trained and fucking perfected Majorna Mark 6 armor and all this shit, specifically with Chief in mind, because he was doing shit that even other Spartans weren't able to do. And the thing is, he is even the best Spartan. You read the books, there are some amazing fucking Spartans. Fred, for instance, is my favorite fucking Spartan from the books. And when I first saw, like, to get back why I get pissed at Reach, when I first saw Reach drop, I was ready to literally play the book, The Fall of Reach, but from the perspective of Bungie. Instead, I get a fuckery of what happened on Reach and get told, oh, it's happening on the other side of the planet, even though the amount of shit and hoops you have to jump through to make that logical, especially when you figure out that Cortana is the thing that they're trying to fucking work on in Reach. Fucking stupid. Absolutely fucking stupid. Gaming has come this. Look at this. This is peak gaming right now. Smaller studios with actual care. The people who made these fucking blow-ups for these maps, they were people who had made mods that were so good that they got hired on the team. And then that person hired on more people like that to further the care of the game. And they listened to what the fans had to say, the players had to say, what the YouTubers and streamers who play this game basically professionally say. Because they understand that's their market. They understand that's who they're trying to please. They're not searching for a market that doesn't exist. They're not trying to make this a $1 billion fucking game. They're making this a game for the audience they found when they made this game. And one of the things they worked on really hard, and I can't wait to see how it fucking plays out later on when I get this. I'm not gonna probably do it on this say because this is a fuck around say, but when I start getting like back deep into like doing story modes in this game again, the end game. Every game always has this problem, especially strategy games like this one. Anyone who played fucking Civilization, any Civilization knows. The end game is always the problem in terms of scaling. And this game didn't scale well in the end game. That's why so many people eventually do just fall off. Like, no matter how popular a server is, no matter how fun it could be, eventually you hit that point where you feel that there is no more to do, or you're done all you can do. But what they're trying to do is go beyond that, create an end game. And I really do respect them for that. And they've taken so much into account from the community when it came to making it. I can't wait to see like how the farming has changed in this full stable build and how it goes forward and what they're going to add as we go forward on. I can't wait to see what other glow-ups they add as we go on. Like, there's so many sections of the map that they can still add extra towns. Like, if you really know fucking Louisville, Kentucky, you know some of the counties that could be put around here to really expand this and make it bigger. Hell, you could even theoretically expand into other parts of the states that are close to Louisville and all, you know. You can get some really, really differentiating shit within the Midwest. I almost said the fucking Middle West, which would have been funny. That'd have been the weirdest accordion fucking flip I've had today.
Oh wow, we got somebody with some bunnies. Wow. Fuck you.
You're on the floor, you stupid bitch. No, fucking stay down there. You're all fucking back there? Like, little fuck party, is that what this is? Am I gonna go back there and, like, you know? Oh shit, it is a fuck party! Oh no! I fucked myself! Yeah, I'm dead. I'm fucking dead! No! I knew I was gonna happen! Holy shit, there's an entire car of motherfuckers out there. What is that? Okay, now I'm curious. Well, we survived 14 hours in game. I went a little too hard. That doesn't stop me from continuing. Okay, now I've journeyed around Roses before. I'm really curious what Riverside looks like. I should have just went on the fucking road, but I'm still trying to actually play the game, you know. Jimbo Dooney will return. Alright. Well, that was actually a pretty good start, and I fucked it up. It goes to show how much I'm used to playing with certain mods on. Because if I had my fucking drug mods, my boy would have been hopped up on Goofenthal, and he would have been wrecking those damn zombies. But I also didn't expect an entire porno studio's worth of motherfuckers to come fucking tumbling out of the basement. Like, what the hell is that shit? Sorry, answering a text to everyone. I know, the uncle was boring. I don't fucking care. I got shit to do in real life as well as stream. This is just me being stupid online. Lunch and the light that you shine can be seen. Baby, if I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get at you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is blue, the light hits the moon on the grave. If I compare you to a kiss from a rose on a grave. Ooh, the more I get at you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom and the light hits the moon on the grave. Ah, it's fucking nighttime. Alright, let's close some of these damn window shades. They're fucking dark. I played enough Unstable to know how many fucking times I've gotten caught in the off stream, but holy crap. I am glad to see I can still get fucked over by an entire clown car of zombies, though. I do respect that. That's just fucking classic Zomboid there. I probably, in hindsight, I should have just got a fucking fireman suit, but it wouldn't have helped. Like, it would have saved me from the first bait, and that'd have been my ass. Also, fuck crawlers. They have like a weird. I can't prove it unless I like get a bunch of crawlers and actually sit there and statistically go through each one, but that's fucking boring as shit. Like, maybe some people would find that interesting if I like made a real video out of it and edited it down so you didn't see all the boring shit. But I kind of need to see. I feel like they have an invincibility frame. Like I said, I can't prove this just based off the little I can do right now, but I feel that there's like a moment of, if you catch them on the wrong point of the lunge, they'll be slightly invincible, so their fucking move will just go through, and instead it'll stumble you instead, which fucking annoying, but I understand. I might have to fucking, maybe I'll do a custom where I get rid of fucking crawlers for this one, because I can't, like I said, I'm just kind of trying to have a little fun here, little me big boy. Fuck. Riverside. I mean, I can pull up the fucking map, but it's not gonna help in this scenario, because, okay. No, I want this shit forever, man, ever, man, ever, man. Man, back when this song came out, Halo was still good. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. No, I had to be truthful, you know. I was back in 09 when we were still being hype over Reach. We just got done with some ODST, and I was about to graduate, and we were about to have a fucking LAN party in my senior class of the Reach beta. Actually, yeah, I think it was the Reach beta that we fucking did, because Reach wasn't fully out yet, if I remember. No, it wasn't. It came out that fucking quarter 3, quarter 4 afterwards. I only remember because I was working at the time. I wasn't at school. And I remember going to the midnight release, just doing stupid shit. We couldn't actually fucking stop because we were working, but we were on the way back to the work site. So we're like, hey, let's go see if any of our buddies is over there in line. And we went there, pumped up some Halo music. We did a burnout, it was fun. But we had to get back to work. And you're probably wondering, what the fuck were you doing working at midnight? Well, that's how real motherfuckers work. Sorry. That's just how it be, Sometimes you just have to give up things you love for the things that you need. And I needed money. Otherwise, I wasn't going to be able to pay for the Legendary Edition of Reach. Which I was able to. I fucking finished that night. I got plenty of money. Got my Reach. If I had known I was going to be on like a 4-day sleepless bend working, I probably would have called off and just played some Reach, but instead I ended up going home and fucking crashing on a damn table before I went back out and got my Legendary Edition and started playing Reach. Which, like I said, played through the story. I was like, oh, dang, it's like it was a really good story in terms of. I heard that shit. Where you at, you little shit? I gotta wait a couple more hours before this shit gets dope. So then I drop, but which is my thing, bro? This is my theme song. My mind, where my mouth steam talk. Crystal on my side, you don't wanna hear that thing talk. Pay attention. A little Wayne, nothing they got the in the mention. I'm like Nevada in the middle of the summer. I'm living up there, I got a pillow in the cover. My foot sleeping on the gas. Oh, bring back no such thing as ass. Yep. Man, I mean nothing to y'all. Remember when Drake was actually pretty damn fun to fall. Can listen to back in the day when he didn't try to be so hard. But shit, that's just how it go be. Guess we gotta deal with it all. I want that shit forever though, ever though, ever though, ever though. Sorry, a little off the head. Here they go, back to stadiums, the shady spits his flow. Nuts they go, macadamia, and they go ballistic flow. They can make them like bozos, he's wondering if he should spit this flow. Fuck no, go for broke, can stop this one over. Oh no, he ain't given flows like this since the last time that he overdosed. They've been waiting patiently for Pinocchio to poke his nose. Back in the game as he goes, that's only the same as before. Back in the game as he goes, not gonna name as he goes. Yeah, they're gonna light him, yeah, they're gonna light him, they light it, it's gonna back of the fuck what I talking about when we riot. Also, as an old school Eminem fan, him coming back in this song after, not even knowing if he was going to be able to rap again at the rehab, to come in that fucking hard, that's crazy. Like, he was the GOAT. He's still the GOAT. Motherfucker may never get his flowers from the world in terms of being the GOAT, and especially in the game, but damn it, that motherfucker, he on another level. You just ain't ever gonna have like him, Kendrick. That's just different level. Hell, I even put like, especially if you get certain songs in there like fucking Murder Gang Part Deuce, fucking LL Cool J can spit some fucking bars. And, fucking Lil Wayne used to be able to just spit bars on top of his head real hard back in the day. But, we all get old. We all have to, start writing shit down. I gotta fucking start writing shit down. I'm only in my 30s. Shit. And I'm nowhere near as cooked as fucking Mr. Wayne ended up from as much drugs as he did. But he's there. He's trying to come back. He's trying to be a good adult. I respect that. If you'd have told young me that Lil Wayne would be one of the rappers from my generation that actually is making the transition to the adulthood phase of his career very smoothly, I'd have called you a fucking liar. But here we are. He's doing it better than some of these motherfuckers. Go left, right, left. I'm just gonna walk down the street till I find a fucking car. I'm kind of, okay, there is one, but I'm not gonna be able to get in that bitch that easily. Bippity boppity. They're gonna take my ass as property if I do not get the fuck out of here. Until the day that I drop, you'll never say that I'm not killing them. So when I am not, then I'ma stop killing them. And I'm not just hot, man, I'm just not Eminem. The criminal sound, spinning the clock, spinning the wind in the court, and web spinning, man, being an adrenaline shot. With the minute hot, but the image is not. The marks are selling, just not really enough. Dude, these fucking houses, they put in the fucking work, man. Like when they said nothing was gonna be a copy pasta, I was kind of, I was skeptical. I'm not gonna lie, especially with like the fucking modern gate industry has made me very fucking jaded to any sort of Dev Diaries. But Lord, if this ain't fucking it. I want more games to have passion like this again. For fuck's sake. With the shit. To my bones collapse, to the roof goes off, to my lights go up, to my leg, I can't check my mouth, to the smoke clears up, and my high her up. I'm gonna whip this shit, not that way now. I'm a Pied Piper of retardation today, baby. I'm just leading an entire clown car of zombies behind my ass, and I'm not looking back. Try to get as much in as you can, and when your run is over, just admit when it's in his hand. Cause I'm out there in my whip with half the shit that gets in. I got a list. Here's the order on my list of the singers. It goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie. I think the Mac ass, Raven, Corrupt, Nas, and then Lord, I'm so glad I play on Rising for these tour throughs. Cause boy, if I was on regular, there'd be a sprinter on my ass knowing my luck. Like Bombi and Whitney, Nate hit me. Oh yeah, this is the waterfront properties. Yo! Damn, this looks nice. What's like a little? Oh, it's a gallery. Like a little fucking. Oh, dude, that's so Midwest. Like a little, like you can tell, like that's like a little historical house from like back in the day that they're trying to keep. So they're like turned it into like a little history museum gallery. Like oh, this is a special little place. Oh, this is that section of town. Oh, nice. Dude, the fucking tool store looks nice. If ever reverse, that'll be the death of me first. Cause in my heart of hearts, I know nothing could ever be worse. That's all clever when I put together every verse. My thoughts are sporadic. I act like I'm an addict. I rap like I'm addicted to smack, like I'm Kim Mathers. Then I will move go fucking back and cross the battle. Then I would rather sit back and watch some practice. Cause this is like a full blown attack. And watching that, I'm just mad. It's like the static. It's back and not the static. And I really think that the fact that I'm still mad is back and the problem status is whack if I'm not the baddest. This is the one fucking problem with me listening to music. I'm just gonna, especially if I listen to my like music, I'm always gonna see something. But I don't think anybody's fucking mind. Just listen to the fucking unk just talk shit about games and how everything's just worse nowadays. It's fucking lame ass shit. I'm just kind of enjoying this. Like, damn, man, this is nice. I really wish it was light out right now so I could enjoy this even more. But, you know, I fucking respawned at night because my dumb ass got killed by the zombie parade that came out of the fucking porno studio. You're not convincing me that's anything but a porno studio. I'm sorry. That's about like me. Okay, fuck it. Okay, they got some distance. Let's go. Go. Anything? Yeah, boy! Come on. Nope, nothing. Fuck me, mate. Alright, come on. Come on, you're a better criminal than this, you piece of shit. Come on. Yay! Alright, now the journey can continue. Alright, we're just gonna fucking do our tour now. Yo. Oh, the riverside's... Damn, that was nice. I just really fucking love the architecture they put into it. They put some fucking love. Yo, look at the new fire station in here. Damn, that's nice. I'm not even gonna lie, right off now on the top of my head, I don't even remember if... I know that fucking fire stations in town were rare, so I actually don't remember if Riverside had a fire station. Okay, look here, game. Me and you are gonna start having problems. This engine is not that fucked. They must have rebalanced the shit out of this, because there's... If an engine even has a little bit of fucky wucky now, it just says screw you. Ooh, that's... I'm not gonna lie, I was not paying attention to this crowd. I was like, oh no, they created a tiny zombie. It's gonna come murder me. Okay, much better. Okay, much better fucking engine. Regular jam, come on, relax. Give me a name in. Man, Criminal's a fucking classic. Oh, am I gonna be lucky enough to find a sledgehammer even though I'd never find one in regular game? That is one thing I do hate. I'm not gonna front. I always turn on the mod when I can. That is spawn locations for sledgehammers or pre-build 52, well, build 42. Because I hate having to just fucking... Like, they should be both in tool stores. They should be in fire stations, because that makes logical sense. I know they took them away for game balance, not for, like, a lore balance. There should be, like, a lore balance game mode where... sledgehammers will be places that make fucking sense. Like, yeah, one on the side of the road makes sense. But where are the fucking construction companies getting these damn sledgehammers from if they're not at tool stores or they're not on construction sites? Instead, I gotta keep driving around a fucking road until I find one sitting there, or just happen to find one sitting in the warehouse somewhere on top of a tool shed. Or you may get really lucky and look at a trash can and find one that's just worn out. Which isn't bad, but fucking, like, it'd be nice if, like, it made sense. Damn, that is a nice house. I really do not like sliding doors in Project Zomboid, but it's pretty nice. Little fucking river. Little fucking river coming through town. Look at that. Look at that Locato. Sorry, that's gonna keep coming up. I got cold ones on the brain. Oh, I left quite a few of y'all motherfuckers behind. I guess power walking is just how I fucking do it. call me a fuckboy, because I ain't see that one coming. Alright, dude, like, even the parking spaces look better. Like, what the, like, parking lots just, being non-existent in the old version. I used to hate that shit. I used to be like, oh, hey, there's a parking lot here, but there should be one here, because, you don't just not have parking in front of a... Man, it's like, damn, the Gigamarts look so fucking nice. My ride when I'm driving it, my ride, I ride for 5 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm trying to get my fucking bearings here, because I've never done much of Riverside. Okay, nah, see, this is the main stretch. So that river section is just confusing me. Okay, got it. Now I understand why I'm getting a little fucking off, but yeah, here's the fucking... Oh, nice. I needed to fucking be daytime, but fucking... Oh, some asshole just activated the alarm. Wasn't me this time. Right around. Sticks the crown to tell him what's on my mind. Pockets of my criminal. Every time I'm out, it's from the bird. I keep it going on. Takes you for no one. Every time I run around, snickers a crown to tell me what's on my mind. Alright, look at it. This is what I really fucking like here. I don't know if they'll ever, like, give us an ability to make shit like that. Like, to be able, like, just to open foundations. Dude, that's so fucking awesome. Like, and, like, you can tell, like, oh, they're about to put a pool here. Yeah, this is, like, the new fancy people neighborhood. This is what used to be the better fancy people neighborhood in the Riverside side. I'll go back over here. I didn't really get to look through here. Let me check it out. Feeling my temperature rising. Listening to my song. You won't set me right. Alrighty. Look at that pool. Look at that nice ass pool. A little fancy ass pool. A little cross pool. A little fucking cross pool. That's like, even the pool's got a little bit of character. It's like, oh, I want me a cross pool. I want me a long Olympic pool. Oh, man. I wonder if they're gonna, like, have diver pools around them. I highly doubt they'll ever, like, implement pool death. That'd be fun, These fucking houses just look so good now. Look at the skylights, yo! Them skylights look clean as a motherfucker. Damn. Holy shit. The amount of love that went into this glow up. Matter of fact, let me fucking remind you, this glow up, if you have already bought the game, this is just free. Like, you will pay more if you, like, buy it now that 42 is officially out. But I haven't checked the price. I don't think it's going to be that far up from what it originally was. But even then, for what I paid for this game and just the amount of fucking love they're putting in these updates, shit, bro. It's not fair. How can fucking Power World and Project Zomboid come out, fuck the market with something so awesome, and yet they're still trying to ship fucking campaign eroded over here? You know, what the fuck is... Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was really close. Really fucking close. I have all my original fucking discs. I was really close to just fucking putting in an Xbox emulator on my machine and playing the original Halo, like my original Combat Evolved disc, Xbox One, not even the Master Chief Collection, just because I really wanted to get into the nitty gritty of what the fuck was happening with Halo. Like, it's, like I said, for me, it's been dying for years. And that really makes me sad. Like, from Halo 3 ODST on, it was only downhill in my mind. Whether it be fucking, even the fucking anime. Like, the animations, like the first round of animation, Halo Legends, none of it was supposed to be canon, except for, like, I think 2 were canon. The last 2. Technically, the last 2 were supposed to be canon when they were written because it actually had the Spartans in it. It had the fucking precursor, like all this shit in it, and it was really awesome. We got to see Fred and all them do their shit. We got to see Linda do her shit. We got to see Chief and them and their fucking thing, and the standoff with the Elite at the end. But that was like the last thing Halo-ish that I was hyped for. Because like I said, I was so disillusioned by what happened with Reach in my mind that I just didn't give a shit about Halo 4. Like, nowhere in my mind was I ever going to give a shit about Halo 4. Mainly because there was no way you're going to not tell me that that wasn't a cash grab. There was nothing about Halo 4 that just wasn't a cash grab in any way, shape, or form. Like, I held my breath when Halo 3 came out because I was so hoping that it wouldn't fuck up. I wanted to stick the landing because you need to stick the landing after that cliffhanger you gave us in 2. Like, 2 still goes down as one of the worst original Halos of all time, campaign-wise, for that cliffhanger. Like, I don't think you understand how many motherfuckers got to the end of that campaign and were like, oh, maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I'll get a little extra if I play Legendary. You did get a little extra, but you did get a little extra. Thought we were ready to finish that fucking fight. Like, 2 died. Like, 2's campaign gave itself a worse ending so that Halo 3 could be one of the most anticipated campaign storylines of that age. Halo 3 had motherfuckers so on the hook that we bought Crackdown just to get a taste of the motherfucking beta. Like, Crackdown sold well, like, it probably would have sold well anyway. It was a decent game for its time. But it would have not sold anywhere near as well if we hadn't have been told, hey, motherfucker, you get public Halo 3 beta. And, like, we were so hyped. And then, after we figured out we were getting the beta, then at E3 that year, they dropped, oh, yeah, by the way, this is the release date. And it's like September 25th, 2007. We all fucking nutted in our jeans. Like, we were just having too much damn fun. We were combing through... Like, back then, we were combing through fucking previs trailers to just get a taste of what Halo 3 was going to be. I remember one of the announcement trailers before they got the actual release date is the famous one with the pre-render where Master Chief first uses the bubble shield. You see the thing and he jumps in the end at the end he jumps in to the Covenant. It was even pre fucking breakdown days on YouTube. This was just like all of us just going back and forth on forums like, oh my god, do you see this? Like, he fucking drops this damn thing. Are we gonna have deployable items? And we were right. We had deployable fucking items. Like, we were like, oh shit, even though it was pre-rendered, it was giving us a hint. Hey, here's some of the new shit you're gonna see. We saw the armor, like, oh shit, the armor's slightly messed. Like, what's happening between games? Like, why does his armor change? Man, it was just graphics. That's just how it happened. Sorry. Clearly, they wanted to make it look better in Halo 2, but they couldn't because of limitations of the Xbox. But the 360 didn't give them the same limitations, so you were able to actually see what the armor was supposed to look like. Dude, I can remember the first 2 announcement trailers. The first one, it's so simple. You just hear that octave. That Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore on the fucking piano just hit that. Bang! And it's like, oh. And then you get they let me choose. You know that, right? The fucking, what becomes a famous line. Like, oh my god. Like, if you'd have told me that because if I'm remembering correctly, it's been so long. I want to say it was the E3 2 years before the announcement E3. It was the original announcement trailer where we see Master Chief walk out in his previs glory, and we just get the and we hear that fucking no, it wasn't her. It was I remember. It's her, but she's doing the whole I want to say Walt Whitman poem. I defy gods and demons. I am your shield. I am your sword. So on and so forth. And then you get them walking. You see the Chief fucking walk out, and you get the bum ba-dum Boom, boom. It's just so fucking iconic. You cannot beat that OG announcement trailer. And then the second announcement trailer had motherfucking nothing for days. It was like, oh shit, bubble shield. Oh, are we gonna be able to run? We weren't able to run. And spoiler alert. It was just for the trailer because you know it had to look awesome. Like the way I always thought in my mind, and this is why I really hated when Reach put in sprint, because especially if you know the stats of a Spartan. Spartans already move abnormally fast at their normal fucking trot, basically. So them at, like, basically what I felt like when we were, like, you know, walking around in Halo running and gunning, Chief was just always running. That was speed. Like, we were supposed to be doing Spartan speed of, like, oh, this so much. And you can make the argument maybe the sprint option in that case is like an adrenaline overdrive, like what a human would get. Like, because he has augmentations, he's able to pump out that adrenaline overdrive where we would only be able to do it in extraneous situations. You can make a whole bunch of different things for the fucking sprint. I don't give a damn. Doesn't fucking matter. In my mind, it made Chief more of a tank, like more of the all be all, the machine that he was. Like, he was a man, but he was a machine, and he was a machine for a reason. He was supposed to be the blank canvas that the player could place themselves on. He had a voice, and he had enough of a personality that we knew who Chief was, but not giving the face to it allows you to feel like that awesome fucking Spartan soldier. It's arguably why we never got some of the other Spartans from the books in the games, because they had way too much fucking character, like fucking William from Ghost of Onyx. Way too much fucking character for Halo 3. Not to mention, before Halo 3 came out, I don't know how many of us read through the Ghost of Onyx and were like fucking doing like little fucking theories like, oh, are they gonna show up? Are they gonna show up in the game? Like, we were so fucking hyped, like, oh, are they going back to Earth? They're in slip space at the end. Where are they going? Oh, is Linda and them gonna and we're like, everyone was hyped. And to be honest, I was really sad that what happens to Will at the end. Like, it made sense. Also, Ghost of Onyx, Eric Nyland was the greatest Halo writer there was. There will never be a greater Halo writer in terms of the books. I knew that from fucking First Contact. Definitely knew that from Fall of Reach. But when we got to Ghost of Onyx, and you get to the scene where William has to suit up again. He's been a teacher this whole time. He's been taken out. He's been so far away, and he has his original armor, and it's in like a stand, like a little trophy stand, and like it's got all these, like, all his old mementos around him, reminding him of who he used to be. And there's a character in it. She's a mute because of what happened earlier on in the books with her and her one buddy. They were the only two survivors of, I want to believe it was the beta group of Spartan 3s. It may have been the alpha group, but it is insinuated that the alpha group we never hear about, because the alpha group went real south, and the beta group was technically the most successful group, and the current group we were doing, I believe, was supposed to be the Gamma group. It was either Gamma or Delta. I can't remember which one it was. It's been so long since I read the book. It's been over fucking 15 years. But basically, the two basically became the veterans of the Spartan 3, which they were never supposed to be. Spartan 3s were basically supposed to be expendable units that were strong, almost as strong as Spartans in the way of strategy and the way they handled things, but they were going to have worse armor. They weren't going to have the augmentations. They were just going to be better than normal humans with the training of a Spartan. That's why I think it's William Kurt was his full name. Like, that's why William is the chosen one to lead them, and they do the whole slip space thing in the beginning of Ghost of Onyx to get him away and make everybody think that he's dead, in order for him to go off and train the Spartan 3, which is a very fucking brilliant way of adding in a Spartan 2 into the canon without fucking up the canon. Looking at you, Halo Reach, you son of a bitch. Oh, I'm never gonna let that shit down. Never in a million fucking years I'm gonna let that down. We knew every fucking group of Spartan 3s there were. Fuck you. Unless you're gonna tell me, I mean, you could argue but then they wouldn't have been Spartan 3s, because the point of Spartan 3s were them to be trained by one of the best strategic people, and William was that person. So if William wasn't the group that did it, you can be like, oh, what if they're Alpha Group? No, they weren't Alpha Group. We know Alpha Group wasn't there, because if Alpha Group was there, they would have records of it, and we would know about the Spartan 3s before the events of Ghost of Onyx. Spartan 3s were specifically supposed to not be known. They were suicide jockeys, basically. They were sent in to die and do the mission, nothing more. The fact that two of them lived from, I want to say it's Beta Group, I'm pretty sure it's probably Alpha Group, I'm just probably misremembering, is the whole thing. But yeah, she's in there with them, and her muting, like, and you think, like, from a muted character, it wouldn't work in, like, okay, it might if you were really good, and I'm talking really good at cinematography, because in my mind I could imagine the cinematography that would have been needed for that, because that's how I always fucking read books. It's like I'm reading a precursor to a screenplay, and in my mind I'm trying to think of how the shots would be fucking doing. That's how my brain works, like a fucking movie. So I was always gonna work. Probably why I'm more of a creative than. Actually, I guess I'm logistics more than a creative than an enable, because I'm thinking about it from a standpoint of measurable rules that you can do, and every artist wants to really act like there's. Yo, look at this little side. Oh fuck! Oh, nah, shit. I clipped that, and I shouldn't have. Look at that little pond. That looks so nice. I mean, it could have always been there, and I've just no, this is new. I know where we are. No, this is not Ekron. There's no fucking way this is Ekron. Oh my goodness, Ekron. Ekron looks so. There's no. This can't be Ekron. This is fucking Ekron. Oh my goodness, Ekron looks so fucking nice. And I know if anyone ever fucking sitting there like, oh motherfucker, get to the point. All right, the point was. William, after all these new Sentinels and Forerunners from the planet coming, because Onyx ended up being basically a Forerunner installation that was more advanced, and the entire planet was basically pumping out superpowered Sentinels that were fucking shit. And basically the Spartan 3s were able to beat them because they didn't rely on the heavier side of things. They relied on their brains, so they were able to overcome them with more down-to-earth tactics. I think that's what really like set off Ghost of Onyx for more people. It was like a detachment, because yes, the Spartan 2s were fucking awesome when they came in that story, but at the same time the Spartan 3s weren't lost in the sauce, because they were able to do things in a way that the Spartan 2s couldn't do, because they never had to do them that way, because they could just overpower whatever they needed. And it taught the Spartan 2s to survive that incident very important things that I was waiting to see what happened with them, and I never fucking read Glasslands. I'm sorry. It wasn't by Eric Nyland. I'm not going to fucking read a sequel to the book I've been waiting for a sequel for if it's not written by the original fucking author, because I'm sorry, he cooks. When he does it, he cooks. He fucking cooks, and it was good. And this scene, like I said, is basically William realizing he has to not just lead them, but he has to get back in the field. And he goes into his place, and he's getting ready to like fight. And as he's getting ready to fight, he starts suiting up, and she sees the armor, and she's a mutant. Like, she just points, and the way she's described and the way she points, what you get from William's eternal monologue at that point, it's heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking because you see, he understands what she sees. She sees that he could be the hero that they needed, and she's lived through some of the most horrid things you could live through because of what she had to go through as one of the earlier Spartan 3s, so much so that it damaged her psyche to the point where she was mute. And it was this moment of like, she saw a hero, and he looked at it as it would have separated him from what he became. He specifically he looks at the suit, he sees all the clippings of himself and all the other Spartans with all these like important people, all these important like people that run all the system, and like he knew that she and the other Spartan 3s would never have a moment like that because they were basically spec ops suicide jockeys. They were never going to get that kind of glory. They were never going to be heroes like the Spartans were to some humans. Even though not all humans saw them as heroes, those that were under the UNSC saw the Spartans as hope in the fucking face of all things. Even though the Spartans were actually made to quell the rebellions, the Spartans were not made to fight the Covenant. One of the very few things that people seem to remember about the lore and gets fucked up a lot in the lore is like, not only did ODSTs and shit like not trust the Marines, not trust those, the reason they didn't trust them is because some of them used to be rebels fighting on the other side until the Covenant came along and forced them all to unite. It wasn't the Spartans that united everyone, it was the Covenant, because the Covenant showed us that there was a greater threat than ourselves. Like our little tribal fights between different colonies of Earthlings across the universe, well, across the galaxy, not the universe, were not important. There was something bigger that was looking to wipe us out completely, turn us into basically dust. And for some reason, they were still keeping some of us alive. We never figured out why until the events of Halo, but we'll get into that later. But William, he saw that he was not that person, though. He didn't want to be that person. So he puts on the Spartan 3 armor and tells her, no, I'm one of you now. And you can tell from the way she responds, the response does break her heart in a way, because she sees it as salvation, but how William sees it is, I'm not that person anymore. If I'm going to fight this fight, I'm going to fight it the way I trained my Spartan 3s to fight it, because these are my men. Shit like that is missing in modern day things, like not even just like to put it in that way, but like the brotherhood of going through something like that together. Like he kind of takes on the fatherly role for all these Spartans, and especially these two, because they're the two that survived, and because they survived, they got to be what most other Spartan 3s never would. They got to be officers that came back and helped train other Spartan 3s, and it gave them a unique outlook, and it gave them, like, it's such a beautiful little story that's done so well with so many little moments like that you would never be able to get in the modern day from anyone, because there's no one out there with enough fucking talent to create a visual medium that could explain that in the way that the book did. Like his internal monologue when he's talking about what he used to be and what he's become, and him realizing that him being in a Spartan 2 would basically just be him trying to put himself above them, and in a way it's almost him choosing death in a way, because he could put on his Majorna armor, because he had I want to believe it's Mark 4. It's either Mark 4 or it's either Mark 4 or 5. I think it's 4. I want to say it's Mark 4, the original armor that we got the play in love with back in the day. And he could get in it, yes. He could be this hero, yes. He could fucking easily fucking take some of these hits from these Sentinels. He could do so much more. He could take the strategy and then use the augments that he has along with the armor he has to do more than the Spartan 3s could. But I think he didn't feel that he deserved it. And in that moment, that internal monologue is like, you can decide, actually, as the reader, is this William taking a stance for himself, or is he taking a stance for them? And in that moment, you feel like he's taking the stance for them, because it's like, I would rather die alongside you as what I made you than live as what I used to be. Because in a way, William just did not fucking like the UNSC in general. He did not like the rigmarole and shit of it, but he was a diligent soldier. He did what he had to do. He even didn't like the way Chief did things, because Chief relied on luck. William was the strategist. Fred was the hand-to-hand specialist. Linda was the sniper and spec ops, so on and so forth. They had multiple Spartans that had different things that they were good at, and they were all better at Chief in one way or another. And we even get this line in the fucking games. That's how you know the canon is solid in 3, and fucking ODST, because you do get those moments where Cortana will reference things like, they let me pick. You know that, right? Choose any Spartan I wanted. She could have chose the fastest. She could have chose the smartest. She could have chose the strongest. She could have chose so many. She could have chose the most strategic of them. But she chose Chief because, in a way, Chief was the most human, because Chief was relying on luck. One of the most human things you could think of. Running off your gut. And realistically, Cortana was going to need that because she was an AI. She was still logistical. She still has certain things she needed. She needed that bit of humanity to ground her, just like he needed that bit of logic to ground him. That there could have been no other better, connection, because the other Spartans would have done something better than Chief would, but they wouldn't have been the all-around jack of trades. They wouldn't have been the leader that Chief was. Like, Chief did not become a leader strictly off his charisma or strictly because he was the best strategist. He became the leader because he was the best in terms of being the jack of all trades, and his luck would pull him out of scenarios, and his charisma in a way would inspire the Spartans to do better because of said luck. Like, for instance, William always would push his strategies further because he knew he had to make up for Chief's arrogance in some way. Chief did have arrogance in the book. He was, like I said, reliant on his luck. He didn't strictly say it, or was never strictly like put out there, but like the others would say that because they're like, yo, you're riding by the seat of your pants almost. In a way that kind of like explains how Cortana is and like how she was programmed, because she needed that excitement in a way. Any other Spartan she could have chose in a way would have been boring. It's the one that ended up being the lucky one, the one that was the most human, the one that was the most chaotic, that would keep the things most interesting for her. And ultimately, even though I hate 4, I will say the ending of Cortana in 4 is a very... It's probably the most moving part in the whole thing, but it's only moving because we've had so much built up between Jen Taylor's Cortana and fucking Master Chief. I always forget the voice actor's name. Please don't fucking kill me. He's a fucking amazing voice actor, but damn it. When I hear him, I just hear Master Chief. Just like when I hear Spike Spiegel, he's always gonna be Spike. Like, look, I know who voices Spike Spiegel, but that motherfucker's always gonna be so long, cowboy. Like, I'm just gonna always just look at that motherfucker, whatever thing he's voiced, and be like, so long, cowboy. Like, it's like, like, even like, my cousins had that moment with the fucking Devil May Cry anime they did on Netflix. Shitty, by the way. You're not gonna have the man who voiced Batman our entire childhood life not be Batman in our head. He's never gonna be Dante. What the fuck are you doing? Oh man, so much shit. Dude, after rolling around Ekron, I'm really impressed. Like, there's like little changes to Ekron. Ekron hasn't had really big glow up, and that's because Ekron was one of the newer cities, so they were probably designing it around these aspects. Because they, actually, no, that's not true. I remember from the Dev Diary, you said Muldrow was the test bed, but I can tell that Ekron and them were made with these changes in mind. Like, you can even see here, these are more prominent, and for what I remember from the Dev Diary, and I'm calling the Dev Diary, was an interview with, I always forget the channel. Isn't Atomic Duck or Mr. Atomic Duck? Or am I getting him confused? It should be maybe just Atomic Duck, and I'm just thinking Mr. because of Mr. Brolo. But his interview with the fucking art, like the fucking lead art director for the actual design of this shit, I can feel the love in the cleverness. Like I said, they are talking about how they're going to do a sewer system, and I can see, like, they're already inputting the things in. And that kind of love was just lost. But like I said, it's shit like that makes games stick in the hearts of actual players. And I'm not going to say gamers, because I'm so fucking tired of that word being used, weaponized on both sides. I'm tired of it being weaponized by the fucking side that hates us because they're like, oh, you chuds, you're the old way, we don't need you no more, but yet you're going bankrupt, so what did that say about you? Oh, you stupid motherfuckers. Anyway, with that insult aside, what does that say? Like your games don't inspire shit. Period. Point blank. Doesn't fucking matter. I don't care if you made $1 billion on campaign involved by some fucking weird way of hell on earth. I don't give a damn if that happened. Sorry, motherfuckers. You're just not legendary. You're not fucking... What's the word I'm looking for? They're always going to use nostalgia. They're always going to use shit like, nostalgia. First of all, nostalgia being a bad thing only became a bad thing because of stupid Disney adults that ruined the phrase. Fuck you. I'm so tired as an older millennial hearing that shit so much. You know how much fucking shit I've had to fight and overcome, even in the fucking work market, because of all the shit like, ooh, look at the millennials, they're just all eating avocado toast and ass. Like, what the fuck? Like, so what? I didn't even know avocado toast was a thing when that became a fucking stereotype. And guess what? I tried it. Fucking sucked. I'd rather have guacamole than fucking avocado toast. But guess what? If I'm hungry as shit, I'm going to Walmart to buy rice and beans. I ain't gonna waste on fucking avocados. I'm not stupid. It's not a millennial thing. It's just a normie fucking thing. It's the fact that you aren't teaching people the right shit anymore. You want to brainwash them. Fuck you. How are you going to sit there and be part of the brainwashing and then have nerve to try to cut down the regular one of us millennials that are trying to do shit? Like, fucking, like I said, I'm so tired of shit weaponized. Gamers, one of them. Like I said, I'm tired of that side. Keep treating us all like, gamers at the chuds, oh, you were going to own the chuds, oh. But then again, I'm tired of the other side being like, I'm a real gamer. Yeah, whatever, fucker. Real gamer my ass. But you can't speak for every fandom in every game ever, especially if you never were a fan of said game. And sometimes motherfuckers of the fandom are too damn blind to ever call shit as it is. Fuck them too. There are specific people I've seen online that irk this more than others, but fuck it. Like I said, tired of both sides being weaponized. It's so fucking tiresome. It's just like you've run out of shit. It's clear you've run out of shit. You've lost. And the other side is too busy taking too many fucking victory laps to like come down to earth and be like, okay, you know, we still have to have a fucking conversation in the middle. We can't cut all of them out. Yes, they may be idiots, but at some point you do have to take those fucking idiots and try to teach them, because they're just gonna keep fucking shit up if you don't. And yes, there are a good number of people who will always be stupid, but the median fucking IQ used to be around 100. And there's a reason it used to be around 100, because that was considered fucking average. But oh no, we're just going to have to accept the fact that, oh, everyone's a little dumber now. We're going to have to lower that average. No, why don't we actually, bring the average back up to what the average should be, since we statistically know what it fucking should be. It's almost like we're failing them on purpose. And we give them stupid little words to fight over online. The gamers, the chuds, the libtards, I fucking hate it. Fucking hate it. I just want to get back to hopping on Xbox and talking shit the old-fashioned way. Just keep it simple. You want to get all that argument out. You know where that shit used to get out? It used to get out online when shit wasn't polarized. You used to have a motherfucker call you a retard and you'd move on. Or they call you a stupid ass motherfucker and move on. Or they tell your mom to get cancer and move on. Or tell your dad sucks dick and move on. Like, we're acting like this shit didn't happen. We're acting like you can get past it. You're acting like it's bad. I'm sorry, we're human. We are fucking human. You do realize that we used to be fucking apes. We used to be monkeys. We used to be scratching our asses and hanging from trees and, eating each other's faces off like a bunch of chimpanzees and trying to fuck whoever we could until we found the perfect mate. Guess what? We may have evolved a bigger brain to move us further away from that, cultural wise and society wise, but all that shit's still there, buried deep within our medulla oblongata, your little lizard brain, like, ooh, fucking. It's like everyone fucking forgets that basic fucking fact. We're human. We're all fucking up. We're all born to fail. That is why our successes are supposed to be celebrated by those who are precious to us. Because as humans, we're born into a life of failing. And it's by carving your way through that failure and finding a way to survive. And yes, it may not be the most comfortable fucking way to survive, but I'm sorry, not everybody can be the outlier. You can't magically make everyone rich. You can't magically make... realistically, you can magically make everybody poor if you just fucking blew up the damn economy in some stupid way. But you really couldn't fucking make everyone rich. Because if everyone's rich, no one's rich. And when no one's rich, who's setting the prices? And when they start setting prices beyond where anyone can get, then suddenly you realize the people in control of all that are actually the rich ones. Because they have the power. And that's how it works. And we're humans, so we're always competing to be better than one or the other. Because that's how animals work. Dolphins are pretty damn smart too, but they're a bunch of crazy rapists, aren't they? Because they're animals. Wild animals. We're lucky enough to have a society and culture and more advanced emotions to govern us. It's about time you motherfuckers started using them for what they're supposed to be used for. One sec, I got a fucking call. Sorry about that. Every human has a mother. Some of us still talk to them because, we're normal ass people. So, I just gotta answer a text real quick. Sorry, I can't pass up a good opportunity to talk shit with my fiance. That's just how shit works. Once again, human, and I'm not afraid to fucking admit it. We have a lizard brain. Lizard brain wants to fuck. Lizard brain wants to eat. Lizard brain wants to win. We just happen to have an extra layer above that. Think of it like I do fuck it, I don't care if you understand it or not. I'm going to use my own fucking metaphors. In the world of networking, there are layers to networking. At layer 1, there is something known as a hub. It is known as a stupid device. It does not care about anything. It doesn't, all it understands is bits. It doesn't care about your MAC address, doesn't care about your IP address, doesn't care about your port number. What it does is it takes in a signal on one side and it spits it out every fucking port at once and hopes it gets to the right thing. It's a literal stupid device in a smart system. But then you go a few layers above that. Because technically some people call a hub a layer 2 device. It realistically is a layer 2 and 1 device, because there is no, the repeater is like basically what an actual layer 1 device is. But very few people have ever seen an actual fucking repeater, so I'm just gonna get to a hub. Anyone who's my age knows what a fucking hub is. You had like this thing, you just plugged it in. There was no little Cisco screen you went to. It just fucking connected everything to it. But you knew every once in a while shit would just drop. And the reason it just dropped is because when you're just spamming signals out every fucking port, and someone's trying to send shit back up the same way from, you know, one of the computers, one of the smarter devices, one of the devices that works on every fucking layer and can, you know, do shit, it's going to run into that shit it's trying to send down, even if that shit isn't meant for that computer. That's why we had to get devices above that, which is called switches. It's a layer 3 device. It cares about your MAC address. That means it can actually filter shit out. Because it can filter shit out, it makes the network run so much smoother. Humanity is what I would call a layer 4 device, because they're like dolphins. I would call them a layer 3. They understand enough to be dangerous, but they're never gonna really give a shit. Layer 4 devices care about your IP address. Layer 4 devices are what you call routers. Routers are what you need to get your internet. You may never know that. You may never even fuck with a router. You may be one of those people that calls up, you know, your cousin who is pretty good with shit to hook it up for you, or your boyfriend, or your girlfriend. There are a lot of girls in that field nowadays because, you know, it's very left-brained. It works very well for a girl who actually, you know, studies and pays attention. I know quite a few of them in that field. We're the layer 4 devices. We care about everything below. That's the beautiful thing about those devices. You layer 1, oh yeah, we get you, hub, we get you. We can filter that data a little bit more for you because we understand you retarded. Oh shit, oh switch, you fucking with MAC addresses? Oh, we get MAC addresses too. We understand them shits. Yeah, we understand them shits. Hell yeah, let's sort that shit for you, dog. Let's get that ready. But then we got a layer above that. We got IPs, IP version 4 and IP version 6. We skipped version 5 because version 5 sucks so much ass. We needed a version beyond that. Yes, that is how upgrades work in the computer world. No, I don't understand why we do that. Sometimes I think it's just to make things sound more fancy, but when you actually look at what IP version 5 was, you kind of understand they weren't lying about that shit. So if one time they were true, it was this time. IP version 6 was needed because IP version 5 sucked in the prototype stage. But the router, it understands all that. It understands the hexadecimal. It understands everything. Subnet mask. Beautiful. So much you can do. You can make VPNs. You can make little subnets on your network. And you can send the stuff and it'll be so efficient. And then you can send things between routers. And that's how you get fucking truncates. And if you know anything of what a truncate is, it's, you know, the actual fucking line that you're, for the lack of a better word, ISP, your internet service provider, sends out to other internet service providers and other servers around the world. And everybody else has an ISP. That ISP is the one that's doing all the fancy shit. Basically, we are IPv4. But you notice how I said there were layers above that, because the computer sits on a layer above even that, because it understands all the things below that. If I remember correctly from my days in Cisco Discovery, I want to say there's 7 layers. There might be 9 now, because if I think about how layers work and what the other layers beyond that did, it started splitting into ports, different types of transfer protocols, like the difference between HTTP and FTP or SMTP. If you don't know what those are, you can Google them. I don't fucking care. We have AI now. Fucking educate yourself. Stop being stupid. Basically, that's my metaphor. We're basically layer 4 devices. And we came up from the days of the hub devices, you know, where we were just spamming shit out like a bunch of retarded ass monkeys. But in the end of all things, there's still evolution to be had because there's layers above that. There's more advancement we probably could do. And to be blatantly fair, looking at how whenever the brain evolved, that died off back in the evolution because now we have the technology to keep those things alive. Homo sapiens had to be the lucky balance. There were two other off branches of evolution that fell off. Remember the Neanderthals. You can think of them as the more dolphin version of a human. They were bigger, stronger, and stupider. But because they were a bit stupider, they got outsmarted by us. But then again, there was a one that came before that. I always forget the fucking name because it's Neanderthal, Homo sapien, and then there's another, it's like Somo sapien or something like, I can't fucking remember. It basically means weak ass human. They were smaller, they basically looked like little grays. They were smaller humans who were very weak with bigger heads because their craniums had to be larger to encompass those better brains. They were smarter than Homo sapiens, but because the world was still a cruel place because evolution was still happening, they weren't strong enough to survive. They were the first one to die off. Then we helped kill off the Neanderthals, and time also helped kill off the Neanderthals because we were the mid-balance. We were enough brain and enough brawn to survive. A good enough mixture of both to screw over the animal kingdom and put ourselves at the apex of it. You can hate humanity, you can talk shit all you want, but we are the apex predators on our planet. Because no matter how much other things may be built to take shit, if you put a Homo sapien, a human, out there and it has to figure out a way to kill something that is much stronger, much bigger, much more built, we will. You want to kill a hippo? We'll take a 50 cal to it. Fuck your emus. I'll just fucking napalm your fucking field, emu. See if you can outrun that, bitch. Like, there are plenty of things out there that are better evolved for physicality. Arguably speaking, quadrupeds are the best evolved for physicality. Technically, the bipedal body is terrible for physicality. That's why a lot of people don't understand why the fuck we're focusing on making bipedal robots other than to swag on each other. And I mean that very literally. Like, making bipedal robots is hard because the bipedal form is not optimized for physicality. Science knows this. Nature knows this. Why do you think there's so many more quadrupeds than bipeds out there? Even some of the bipeds, like monkeys, still work similar to quadrupeds because they have long enough limbs that they can sit down on all fours. Even though they're not technically quadrupeds, they're a version of biped. Those motherfuckers still function like most quadrupeds do in order to survive out there in the fucking wild. That's how science works, bitch. So, in the ultimate end of all that, what I'm trying to tell you is, get off your fucking high horses on both sides, you cunts. The important part is meeting at the fucking table, and if you aren't strong enough to meet at the table, then neither of you deserve anything. No respect. No ears, no eyes. And by ears and eyes, I mean people to listen and watch you. You don't deserve it. But the pendulum will swing. And as long as they can sit on one side of the pendulum, there will always be animosity and humanity. Because only thing that can bring humanity together, as we know, is a common enemy. Because that's just how we roll, buddy. If aliens showed up tomorrow and said, we're going to butt fuck you all, I bet you'd never see motherfuckers come together quicker, no matter what religion, creed, or cause. Because in the end of the day, if somebody travels across the universe, they have enough technology to probably wipe our entire country off the face of the earth in the blink of an eye. And that goes for everybody damn near tenfold. Because if they can wipe my country off, they can wipe any country off. So, what do your feuds mean when a greater enemy shows up? I'll tell you what they mean. Absolutely fucking nothing. Because if that enemy stays long enough, and you fight it long enough, that common hatred will ultimately destroy any animosity you once had against each other. Because there will always be the fear in the back of the minds of our species. What if there's another one? Even if we won? That's why sci-fi and fantasy are some of the greatest fucking ways to explore the human condition, if you will. It's because ultimately, no matter what you do, we are animals. So you can either be the kind of person that understands that and use it to your advantage in order to push your message, or you can realize you're just a fucking human too and try to find some common ground. But weird accents I give aside, kinda doesn't fucking matter, does it? You need people to listen. And listening is infinitely harder than talking. And thinking is impossible if you can't listen. Because no matter what anyone thinks, observation is one of the key parts of science and study and understanding. And if you can't get back to that, well, then you're fucked, aren't you? Alrighty, looking around, I came down to Irvington hoping it would be a little more fancy. I mean, to be fair, it was the newest town and it already looked pretty smart because of how new it was, so I guess expecting it to be different was kind of a bold asshole move on my part, but fuck it, I was kind of hoping. I mean, some parts are different, because I did get, if anyone saw, I did get lost there for a sec. And in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I've been to Irvington enough times to not get fucking lost. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this part's changed a little bit. So, the way my fucking brain works is I will lock in key points on a map. That's why I'm very good at remembering where shit is in real life and in games. That's probably one of the many reasons I loved Halo so much, is map knowledge really helped your fucking gameplay in that just as much as your skills did and your reflex time. But I'm currently I'm running blind now. I kind of feel like I'm running blind a little bit. This is all relatively the same. I know it's all relatively the same. I can tell it's all relatively the same because everything looks relatively the same. But there are some areas I can tell, oh, that's not right. I gotta give y'all credit. Like Irvington's always been a nicely made town. It's not my favorite town in Project Zomboid, but it is, interesting. And it's a harder place to start if you're playing on the regular mode, because there will always be a little bit more population here, and because of that population, you'll get some stronger zombies and stupid shit like that. Yeah, you can really tell that Irvington was already built, and like I was talking about with Ekron, how it was built with the future in mind. Clearly, Irvington was basically the future they were already building. I can tell oh, fuck me. Sideways, mate. I can tell some houses are changed, but the basic map layout's pretty much the same, other than the entrance to town, so on and so forth. Yeah, I guess I could have just been fuck me, mate. I could have just been, and once again, the issue. I can't even be mad, because I used to ride these fucking cars until their shit got yellow before they started kicking off like this. I do respect that now it looks like I'm probably at maybe 60%. And it seems like 60% is now enough to, fuck you over a little bit to where it's going to be trying to turn off more intermittently. And then when it gets to 50, it starts doing the actual 50-50 split. I respect that. I actually respect the shit out of that. That's actually a little balance change I don't mind. Because I actually used to think that it was kind of annoying. I could just hop in the car and I felt mortal, even when it was like fucking like. Brrr, brrr. Now if you don't find a car at least 75%, you're gonna have a bad time. Just gonna be having a bad time, boy. Okay, I swear there's no funny business going on here. I swear it. I just keep happening to find fucking things with open doors. This is fucking wild. It's like, what is this, like the third one? Alright. Nah, I've been looking for these for a while. I didn't want to go into any buildings to get them, so I've been... you motherfucker. Come on. Oh, thank God. I will say this. I have been noticing that light switch placement is getting much better. I would like if something made more fucking sense. Like, okay, yeah, that's fine. It makes a little more fucking sense than it did the last time. It used to be annoying as fuck to find ones on these walls, but it looks like they fixed their graphics to where the walls are actually fading out properly now, so you can see shit. I was really like, when I first loaded in and I was looking at like the trees and how they were fading. Oh my God, that shit was looking so fucking smooth. I don't fucking care. If somebody's talking about shilling, the motherfucker, if... Note to idiots. I'm going to call you a fucking shill if you fucking lie your ass off for the sake of a shitty game. For instance, I have another account, so like this is the one I usually talk shit on. It's my main account. I just fucking comment and shit, but I've been making comments specifically. Oh, okay. That's... Oh, wait, I know why. Bet you as soon as I close this door, I could see it. Let's find out. Oh no, I actually found a glitch. I actually have to report that bug. Fuck. Do that. I should have fucking put on debug mode so I could report that bug. Yeah, they're just not showing up. If anybody fucking runs into anything, like, if anyone runs into that, play, let me know, because I'm actually curious if that's just my game fucking up, because I've been rolling ride or die really hard for the last few moments, or if that's just flat out, like, an issue I actually should fucking tell them about. Because, like, another thing about games that are actually good, you actually have developers that give you a way to report bugs properly, and your fucking bugs are taken seriously so that they can improve the fucking game. You know, that's like, you can say I'm shilling for this. I mean, you wouldn't theoretically be wrong on the most Webster dictionary way of looking at things, but I'm sorry. I see a shill as a fucker that's basically just sitting there, and people see it as you getting paid to defend it. I don't see it that way. If you're gargling the balls of the fucking thing that is obviously terrible, you're the fucking problem. Don't believe me? I can show you old fucking links to some of my anime reviews. I had no fucking respect for anyone that put things way further than they belonged. Looking at you, Sword Art Online. Fucking... you have no idea how much I fucking hate Isekai. I've made literal fucking essay-style videos on why Isekai is a fucking nightmare. And why it is ultimately probably going to be the downfall of the modern anime industry if they never get fucking past them. But luckily some shonen have stuck the landing of their fucking endings, and because of that, it isn't going to be as much of a prevalent problem. It was a prevalent problem when motherfuckers were sitting there and gargling the balls of Attack on Titan while over here complaining about My Hero Academia because Deku cried a lot. I'm sorry that you just don't like motherfuckers having, like, that was the point of his character. He was a fucking crybaby that, and I don't know, maybe people just, I can't even say that because it'd be one. I usually see the complaint from American fans. It'd be one thing if I was like, maybe they just, people aren't used to that style of person. Like, no one, if anyone's ever actually saw a person who truly wanted to be a hero, and I'm talking about like in real life, like even though it's impossible to be an actual superhero in real life because you just get fucking shot. And some people are like, well, what about this person? Not a superhero. They were trying to be heroes, and a lot of them end up being wonky and weird and shit like that. We're not going to get into all that crazy shit. Being an actual superhero in the comic book terms of the word, the type of person who actually would want to be a person like that usually is the person who cares enough about things to where they would be a crybaby. They're either going to be a person like Bakugo who is in it for the sheer love of the game and challenge, or you're going to get a person like Deku who is very bleeding heart and very open and very emotionally connected to what he's doing. That's why you were able to have the fucking Dark Deku arc in My Hero Academia, because Deku was that type of person. You were able to take him to that extreme. It was interesting to see Deku go to that type of extreme because of the type of person he was, because of the type of hero he wanted to be. He was driven to that point by his need to not let anybody get hurt over his sake. And ultimately, it ended up being a bigger problem, and so on and so forth. I could go on a whole fucking million-day rant about how I did this before with Wheel of Time, and I explained it with Wheel of Time. It was basically Deku had to learn that other motherfuckers could be heroes too. Like, even though it doesn't work the same for Deku, because Deku has been the key inspiration for a lot of motherfuckers becoming heroes. Like true heroes, like fucking some of the greatest rising moments come from instances of being inspired by Deku. So like, I don't know, it's the Dark Deku arc, good in concept, wasn't great in execution. Like, it was okay in execution, it just wasn't great. Like, you could have made a really good Dark Deku arc if that motherfucker lasted for years. And I'm talking like it lasted as long as like the Sasuke arc moment in fucking Naruto. Like, if you'd have had that motherfucker out there fighting for what was a certain amount of time. But the thing is, the story was so accelerated and it's time. Like, I respect the author for not forcibly dragging it out to make the Dark Deku arc better. That's why I respect it as much as I do, is because he stuck to his guns, and he had points he wanted to hit. He had things he needed to hit, and it hit all the points. Some things were lost in the echoing, like we should have had way more Dark Deku arc because we could have gotten way more used to him being as good as he was with the skills he was learning. But you know, that's a whole other thing we can argue about. But the Dark Deku arc is probably one of the greatest fumbles, not one of the greatest fuck-ups, because it didn't fuck up. It did what it needed to do, but it did fumble along the way. You were a little scared that he wasn't going to get the first down. And to be honest, what saves the Dark Deku arc is how much Deku inspired people before that point. Specifically, I'm talking about Bakugo. Because him inspiring Bakugo in the ways he did is what makes Bakugo's character so amazing towards the end. Like, you want to talk about an ass, like, Bakugo is the type of character that came up. He's an evolution of the archetype of the rogue with a heart of gold. He's the asshole with a heart of gold. Like, there are so many moments throughout My Hero Academia where I was watching it and reading it where I was like, this little shit's going to end up being a villain. But the more his story unravels, you just realize him being an asshole is his defense mechanism. Bakugo has never learned to lose. He has never learned to live with losing. That was like his whole arc in the thing. He had to accept the fact that he needed help. I mean, that was his ultimate arc in the end. It was like him realizing that he wasn't the main character, and that was okay. Like that's one of the even with like Deku wasn't really even though he's the main character from our perspective, he isn't the main character in the world perspective of how people look. We just know that like, hey, he is the most important piece in this aspect, but he can't do this if we all don't give our all and support him. Like the entirety of Bakugo's final arc kind of hinges on that Dark Deku turn moment. The moment when he shows up to help Deku. And the thing is, he's showing up to help Deku in the Bakugo way. It's like, you gotta come back because I need fucking competition. Stop being a little bitch. You can't just act like you're the main character. He's basically trying to reiterate to Deku what Deku already taught him. And it, like I said, it happens in a very truncated and very abridged way, and you could have made it longer, but you would have had to further expand other parts of the story and further plan certain parts of the story in order to get to that point, you know what I mean? So I can respect it. That's why I said it didn't fail, it just fumbled. You can recover from a fucking fumble all day long. That's just how it works. Even if it becomes an overturn, you can still recover from that fumble. Just tell your defense to hit a motherfucker hard enough and they'll turn that bitch right back over. You know what I mean? Sorry, even though I'm not the biggest sports fan, I can cook up some sports metaphors. I've had to fucking... Most of my life has been blue-collar work, motherfucker, so... Hell, even white-collar work, it comes up. Like, you think... What the fuck you think people are talking about around the water cooler? It's like... White-collar motherfuckers may have different sports they like, but... the sports are still there. To be blatantly honest, I kind of respect the blue-collar sports a bit more, because... Damn it, there's just a little bit more... At least they're mainstream. Like, I've had motherfuckers care about shit in white-collar positions that made no sense. Like, motherfuckers talking about softball. I was like, what the fuck? I can get baseball. I can even get AA baseball. Boy, you may even be able to get me convinced into college baseball. But fucking softball? What are we doing, mate? The fuck are we doing? Hell, fucking like tennis or something, like fucking something respectable. The fucking fact I gotta say tennis is respectable, or the favorite. If you want to talk about two sports that cross over between white collar and blue collar, at least in the places I work, the tech field and the fucking construction field, boy, hockey is the biggest fucking crossover. Boy. If there was a sport I liked to watch, it was hockey, but it's not for hockey itself, it's for the ass whoopings. Like everybody kind of has that same rigmarole about the whole thing, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, we're a lot of people here for the fights, but there are a lot of people there for the love of the game. And in white collar and blue collar, there was always motherfuckers that were literally there for the love of the game. Alright, let's see if I fucking die. I'm trying to figure out what I'm talking about because I'm so tired. Bring me that ass with that fucking ass hat. Looking like a fucking 1997 anime. Fucking die. Because I know there's motherfuckers around me. Alrighty. See, I need... Okay, maybe I've been playing with the mod that fixes the sound way too damn much, because the sound distance is just all fucking off and it's never gonna not be out. I'm gonna have to go in my settings and make sure, but usually this should be the default setting because I almost never play with headphones, and whenever I switch my audio output, the games usually follow suit. Because I never play with headphones, I usually don't have a fucking preset already saved up for this specific audio device. One reason I like PC over console as much as I do nowadays. But at the same fucking time, I could be wrong. There could have been, because I was preparing this for streaming, so there may have been a point I did it, but I've never done it all. Like, I've never played it on stream, so in reality, I know I've probably never actually played the game with headphones in. Like, the fucking sounds are crispy. Fucking beautifully crispy. Love it. Don't get me wrong. Fuck me if I just would have enjoyed a little bit more now. Alrighty. Lying awake at night and tuning in on you. When I was young, it didn't stop coming through. You know, a moment of I'm gonna say this. This probably, if it ever gets out, might piss people off. If there was one thing that was done right to the almost end, it probably might have been MTV. Because, like, even though MTV forgot music and all this crazy shit, and it had to evolve, you know, because motherfuckers like a certain type of thing. That's just how the fucking world works. People liked reality TV. MTV couldn't survive off music alone. I'm sorry, music licenses cost a fucking lot. Even when you are a, you know, specifically someone who's supposed to put it out there, you do have to pay a lot of fucking royalties for it still. Especially when, you know, the medium falls further and further off. So it's like, it was hard to still get actual music videos on MTV. You know, old joke. But I think the last music video I actually saw on MTV, unironically, this is not me even joking, was in 2007. Wait, nope. It wasn't 07. It was, because that album was not yet. It was 08. And it was Glass Skin by Duran Gray. And it was on at 6 a.m. in the morning. That was the last fucking video I ever saw on MTV. But like I said, the thing stayed alive as long as it possibly could from where it started as, you know what I mean? It started as the music television, went away from music, yet still lasted for many decades. Matter of fact, most people will argue it was without music for so long. Basically, reality TV, MTV was the actual majority of MTV. Sorry, that's just the way the world works. Math is mathing. It's kind of like how fucking Cleopatra's closer to the invention of the iPhone than she is the construction of the pyramid. You know what I mean? You have a certain mindset and you think of things in a certain way, but that's just the way it is. Like, oh, you think of MTV, you always remember the old days of the 80s. Specifically, the song I was just singing, Video Killed the Radio Star. And in the song, this is why I said MTV did it right. In the song, there's the line, "You were the first one, you were the last one." And it was, unironically, first video on MTV. And for them to not only create specifically a music, like a special for music to bring back a lot of artists and like put them on MTV for the finale of fucking MTV as a whole, but to actually bring back all the Buggles that, like, the majority of the Buggles to do the song again and literally make it the last one, to have that forethought to do that bookmarking, I think whoever was running MTV was probably the last motherfucker with a brain in, like, the whole major Hollywood spectrum side of shit. Because they couldn't have been the same motherfuckers that are, like, running shit in actual Hollywood, because the motherfuckers that are running shit in actual Hollywood wouldn't have had enough forethought to even go. Hell, they wouldn't have had the knowledge to go back and even know this was the first one to make it the last one. That's how you know whoever worked there still had a love for the originality of MTV to at least let MTV go out on the note it came in on. Damn, if that wasn't like... It's fucked up. I have a love for both beginnings and endings. I love beginnings because I like to pick out the things that I know are going to eventually either be bookmarked in the end or going to be like the key like setup for the entire thing. Like for instance, when I first saw episode 1 of My Hero Academia, I knew it was legendary the moment we got to the slime monster near the end of episode 1. For anyone who's never seen it, you should probably see it. If you don't care about spoilers, you can stay and listen to this bit. But please, if you do care, go watch it first before you listen to why it's so awesome. Matter of fact, you have to watch the whole series because I am going to go into why it is awesome. Ultimately, when I first saw that scene, it was one of the most moving things in anime I had seen in so fucking long. Even in the dub, it was a fucking banger. You know how hard it is for anime to not only have a moment that resonates in its native language, but for that fucking moment to be so powerful it could resonate even in its non-native language. Fucking insane. But My Hero does it with this scene. As a matter of fact, it was the moment I knew that the creator was actually a fan of Western hero comics because it was probably the most Western shit I had ever seen, and it just made me want more. See, Deku is born quirkless. In this world of My Hero Academia, you're born with something called a quirk. A quirk is basically a special power innate to you. Well, Deku in his entire life, he's looked up to the hero that is known as All Might. Sorry if I am explaining this for motherfuckers already know, but I'm just doing this because this is the way you should actually do things if you want to get anybody into something rather than just being like, oh, this shit about them. You gotta wean them into it a little more because some motherfuckers are gonna need more than that to actually watch anything animated. Because I'm sorry, no matter how far we get away from the stigma that was my past of suffering as an anime fan, you're still got motherfuckers that just like, oh, watch it because it's animated and it's a cartoon. So this is, like I said, the moment I knew he was a true fan of Western comic and he understood what was important about them to the not only to like the stories that are told, but to the people who enjoy those stories. Because Deku, being quirkless, he still wants to be a hero. And his entire time, he feels that maybe if I can just be good enough, maybe if I can just study enough, maybe if I can understand being a hero enough and, break it down and understand I can out strategize my way and basically become a hero, maybe I still can be a hero. Maybe I can still get into UA. Maybe I can still follow my dream. Maybe I can still be like my hero, All Might. Sorry, once again, text, but as I said, and in this moment, his entire life, this is what sets it off. I'm just gonna say, his entire life, he's basically been told, "Give it up, kid." Even his mother, in her moment of sadness, being, I'm gonna say, she's single mother on her own, not understanding in that moment how much it meant to her son. She just kind of made it worse because the thing he wanted to hear is what any parent would tell you. And I hate to be this asshole, but it would be the kind of thing a dad tells you. And that is why he has to hear it from who he hears it from. And this episode sets that moment up perfectly. the entire episode is showing how much Deku wants to be a hero, how much he's still dedicated to it, even though his his old childhood best friend has turned on him because he sees him as a weak, quirkless person and all this shit, and basically treats him like shit. And basically, he is the lowest rung of society. He is the classic hero's journey setup that every fucking hero arc needs. He is at the lowest rung in this society. There are people who are theoretically lower than him, but are not, because they still have a place in this society, because they still have the thing that this society runs off of. He is an outlier. So when he finally meets his hero, and he finally has a chance to ask the question to him that he's always needed the answer to, even though he didn't know the type of answer he was like really searching for. He had an inkling of what he needed, but he never really understood the entirety of it until everything comes down. Even in the end of it, he's telling this from his perspective in the future, narrating it. You can even tell he still doesn't really understand it even in that future, because he still hasn't hit that mature point enough to where he'll finally be able to unravel it. But he goes to his hero, he falls, and he's like, hey, I need to know, can someone who was born without a quirk still be a hero? And he does it in the Deku way. He's crying. He's very sad about it. He's very numb, because this is his epicenter. This is the thing that has driven him to be a hero. And this being told he can't do it his entire life by everyone, even insinuated, even though she didn't really, she accidentally insinuated it with the way she responded to it. And as a young parent, I can understand messing up in that moment. It's a very human thing. Like I said, even though I don't like Deku's mom, and I've talked mad shit about her in the past, even in reviews I've done in My Hero Academia, I understand the humanity behind it, especially now that I have seen the entirety of it. I wish that bit would have been fleshed out a bit more, because I wouldn't have been as mad and hateful towards her as I was. And it may have made her character a bit more enjoyable in certain aspects for me. But it just ended up with me being like, man, fuck you, bitch. You mean. How dare you do that to Deku? He's the greatest. And like, basically, me fucking being me. But in that moment, even his hero hits him with a truth he doesn't realize. He's like, no, it's basically impossible. But the thing is, he actually does, in the moment, he does stop. Something's gonna come after my black ass. Anyway, he does know that there is a way. We don't know this yet, but even the way he delivers it, you can kind of tell there's something he knows that he isn't exactly being truthful about. Because he actually, I fucking heard you, bitch! Fucking know it! See, them little fuckers can be very fucking feather-like when they want to be. But they'll be fucking the whole fucking time when I'm not trying to fucking piece of shit. I got my damn N16 off this bitch. But any damn way. He knows there's a way. We don't know there's a way yet. But even us, we're like, no, All Might, don't break Deku's heart like that, even if it is true. You gotta give him away, man. You can't just do him like that. He deserves more than that. And the reason we say that is because we're slowly but surely caring for Deku, because we see what All Might eventually does see, that Deku is a true hero in a way that even current professional heroes aren't heroes. Something that becomes very evident as time goes on. So even though Deku's down and sad, he's like kind of just walking around. He stumbles across a villain that we meet earlier in the episode that All Might was stopping. That's when he meets All Might the first time, stopping the sludge monster that's trying to kidnap him. And at that moment, Deku realizes, oh no, I've screwed up. It's because of me that this villain got loose. And for anyone, I didn't want to get into it because it kind of spoils some things. But All Might, the way, like I said, the way All Might reacts to Deku tells us there's more that he knows that could fulfill Deku's dream than he's letting on, because he actually does go out of his way to speak to Deku. He doesn't just like pass him off and just say no. He actually explains to Deku why. He explains that even someone as powerful as me can basically be brought to his knees, because there's always going to be something bigger and badder and stronger out there. You have to have a way to fight. And in that moment, he basically, the way he looked at Deku is he saw that he felt a kinship with Deku, and we'll figure it out in a sec when I explain it, but he at the same time understands that it's an impossible goal by normal means. So Deku gets sad, but then he, like I said, he stumbles on the villain that All Might had captured, but it got loose when Deku grabbed onto him and he dropped it. And then also, it's captured his friend Bakugo. And even though Bakugo earlier that day beat him up, blew up his notebook, called him worthless, all this shit, and always shits on him, he still sees Bakugo as a friend. And it's in instances like that you see the goodness in Deku that will ultimately make him a good hero. And they do something in this moment that is, what's the best way I can put this? There's usually great writers will use plot devices sparingly but clever. In this instance, one of the biggest plot devices in all of My Hero Academia shows up, and it's a plot device that is used multiple times throughout the series, but it's not overused. It's used in moments of absolute necessity, usually in order to show you the in life, like in mental transition of the person from what they were before to this moment. Deku is watching Bakugo get choked out by this big sludge monster, and he's half impressed because he's like, wow, how could Bakugo withstand it? I almost like died from this thing. He's literally still able to like try to fight back, but even then he still sees the frailty in Bakugo. He looks at Bakugo and sees someone who needs help. And in that moment, he feels guilty for what's happening, because not only did he knock the villain out of All Might's grasp, because All Might wasted so much energy and time with him, he can't use his power. Because basically what happened to All Might was he ended up in a big battle. That's what he used to kind of defer Deku. He ends up in a big battle that no one knows about, that basically destroyed him, killed a lot of his organs, and basically turned him into a husk of what he used to be. That's why he has a limited amount of time that he could be a hero now, and part of that time was wasted with Deku, and Deku feels guilty for it. Little does Deku know that also in the crowd is All Might. Well, he does know. He's like, he sees All Might. No one else knows it's All Might because they don't know All Might's true form. And he's realizing that All Might can't do anything because he's powerless at the moment. He knows a secret no one else knows. So he knows in this moment that if no hero shows up, Bakugo is going to die. His friend that he still cares about, through all of these years, that his childhood buddy is going to die. And it's in this moment, if you're an actual human being with a heart and someone who pays attention and doesn't scroll on your fucking phone throughout the entirety of something, you're probably feeling for Deku, and in this moment you're even feeling for Bakugo because you're feeling through Deku. You're empathizing with Deku at this, well, sympathizing. You can't really empathize too hard with characters. That's a whole fucking writing thing. We can get into that another day. Fucking love lore, love writing. I will talk about this shit till the end of time. But we're sympathizing with him, and in that moment we're like, oh no, Deku is about to watch his friend die, but at the same time something in us is rooting for Deku. Like we want Bakugo to be saved because we don't want to see Deku be hurt. What we don't know is the plot engine is about to kick in. All of a sudden, Deku sees a moment in time, a little snapshot of Bakugo, and he sees him look out, and through a mixture of the slime monster's face, because the slime monster basically is like encompassing him and smothering him with his own mouth, the way that the thing looks, it's frowning because Bakugo's been fighting off so hard. He's been fighting so recklessly, and it's hard for him to get control. But he's about to get control, so Bakugo is slowly losing energy. He's slowly fading. And in that moment, his eyes open in desperation. And they look right at Deku. And that's the moment that breaks the part of Deku that becomes the hero. Because in that moment, even though he knows he's powerless, even though he knows he can do nothing, his mind completely shuts off and he charges headfirst into the event that all these heroes are standing around watching because there's nothing they can do. And it stuns everybody, even All Might. He's like, oh my fucking god. And at first we just think he's worried, like, oh no, Deku's gonna get hurt. We'll contextualize it. Basically, Deku fucking runs in. He uses his strategies. He reuses what he remembers from his notebook in order to try to trick the thing. He blinds it with his pencil case by throwing his book bag and it flies out. It's a very beautiful cinematic scene because as Deku is running and he's doing what he does, the fucking music kicks up. And this is why sound and music will always be one of the most important things in all of creation in terms of being a creator and making a bit of fantasy or nonfiction or whatever. If your sound is not on point, you will not be able to reach those primal emotions in humans that you can stir with music, with sound. Like, think of all the greatest horror movies you've ever seen. They have amazing soundtracks. Not even just the music, like the atmosphere sound, the everything around it, from the crunches of a bone to the squish. Everything has to be perfect because any little moment of bad sound can take you out of something on a subconscious level and make you want to judge something more because you're no longer falling into the world. Part of being lost in the world is sound. That's why the Odyssey has been fucking over so many people, because when people sound like a bunch of Americans, it takes us out of something. Or when you don't have an orchestra to do proper epic music, it takes you out of something. Or when you hire a rapper to be a bard, it takes you out of something. Sound is important. It's why I've been bitching about the sound of these damn zombies through most of this, even though I've been loving all of the beauty I'm seeing in this game. Like, I think I'm about to roll up on the farmer's market in Rosewood. It's the first time I've been here in the new... Oh my god, it looks so nice. But anyway, as I was saying, as he's running, we get the song You Say Run. Now, You Say Run is what you would call... It's not... Okay, the core sound is You Can Be a Hero. I didn't want to say the name of the song because it kind of spoils what happens later. But the name of the song is You Can Be a Hero, and it is the main theme. You Say Run becomes like the epic theme, the fight theme, the one that everyone uses, the one that gets evolved time and time again. Anyone who knows anything about orchestra, anything who knows about composing, you usually come up with a sound for something. The note progression in You Can Be a Hero is that sound, and its epicenter, its absolute apex, is You Can Be a Hero. You want to hear a damn good song? Go look that shit up. It's some of the... It'll get you fucking hype in ways that certain music just doesn't do anymore. It speaks to you on a primal level. It makes you want to run alongside Deku in that moment. But you can hear the swell of the strings. You can hear the shift in the tone. It fits the scene so perfectly to when he finally runs up to Bakugo and you're hearing the strings and it's going. It's come down from this epic swell as he runs where it's just like. And you can hear it because it follows the percussion progression of. And it fucking builds upon itself. But in those moments of refrain, those bridges, it's able to come back to the strings and rest and basically hit you right in the heartstring. And it's like you feel in that moment. You feel, it's not even sadness. It's, you're on the edge of your seat worried. You're worried about what's about to happen to Deku. You just watched him run into a situation that you know he is going to die from. We've watched this very same monster almost kill him, and if All Might hadn't showed up, he wouldn't have saved him. But in that moment, he becomes the hero. And even the words he says up to that moment, he's sitting there before he runs, and he's just like, a real hero will show up. He's trying to convince himself, make himself believe that the thing he believes in will show up. He's not going to sit there and watch his friend die. He can't sit there and watch his friend die. That's not how the world's supposed to work when there's heroes. But in that moment, when his mind shuts off, all logic goes out the window. He doesn't care if there's supposed to be a hero to show up to save him. He doesn't care that he's going to die rushing in to save his friend. He rushes in anyway, against even his own will. Something in his soul itself forces him to run. It's the plot engine that we will explain. As soon as he hits Bakugo and those strings swell, though, Bakugo basically is like, what the hell are you doing? He's basically like cussing him out and going off. And then Deku says the line. He's like, I don't know, my legs just started moving. And he's trying to dig him out of the sludge, even though it's useless. And in that moment, as he's digging, he gives us his internal monologue in a visual medium. It's not the best thing. I wish there was another way to do it. They do it visually, do not get me wrong. I just wish that we didn't need the lines beforehand to set it up. It was almost absolutely perfect. It's a 9 out of 10, not an absolute 10 out of 10, but fuck it. It's hard to hit perfection. You're almost never going to get a 10 out of 10 from me, because 10 out of 10 would be perfection, and perfection does not exist. And if I ever gave a 10 out of 10, I would hope that would be the end of entertainment as I know it, because I could never live in a world where no one would ever hit those heights again. Although you could argue they could. Someone could hit perfection again and then go beyond plus ultra. Yeah, I did it. Fuck you. I don't care. Anyway, as he's digging out, you get the internal monologue. He's like, still to this day, I don't know why I started running. And it shows the side frame of him running with the music going and the strings going. It's like almost like a little step back to what happened before that moment. And it just gives you all the flashbacks of every moment when anyone doubted him. And even that fucking doctor in the beginning who said basically you should give it up. And then he, right before he switches and tells like the final line, he's like, maybe it was the look in his eyes. And it's like he sees his mother hugging him in that moment when he needed her to say that. And you understand what it's meaning. You understand why he ran. You understand what amped him up to run, what got him to this point. He wants to be a hero. It is in his soul. And he almost, a part of him he doesn't know wants to prove them wrong. That part of him that understands what a hero is and how to be a true hero. The part of him that he doesn't quite know is there yet. The part that he has to grow into. And he's like, maybe it was the look on his face. And he tells him, I'm doing the paraphrase, the American version. I always forget the Japanese lines because I'm sorry, I'm American. I'm going to remember somebody saying something in my language more than I'm going to remember words on pages. That's why some of the things I remember the best are the things I either reread myself or go through myself, because I hear my own fucking voice in my head reading it. Therefore, it establishes more. Oh no! I've been talking shit and my guy's bleeding now. Oh no. Oh, come on. I have shit to use. No, I don't. I didn't pick up any bandages, huh? Well, shit, we're gonna die, baby. We ride until we die. I'm just gonna keep talking. See if I can get this out before then. But basically, he looks at Kachan and he basically says, Kachan, I couldn't just stand there and watch you die. And those words not only strike Bakugo and it gives him a surge to try to break free because he's like, Bakugo in his way, even though he still has some, he doesn't know it yet, he still has some heart left for Deku. He kind of doesn't want to seem weak in front of Deku. He tries to break out and he's like, get the hell off of me. But the person who hears it, the person who needed to hear it the most, is All Might. Those words strike All Might, and he realizes he has not been living up to what he knows a hero should be. And the famous lines are here, and he's like, I have to do it, no matter what it takes. Heroes are always risking their lives. That's the essence of a true hero. Those are the lines he hits to Deku as he rushes in, his power finally restored. Bakugo's shocked because his hero is here and he's seeing him in like the worst light ever and he's so embarrassed. We get to that later. That's a whole... I'm putting out what's in Bakugo's head to kind of give out the feeling of the moment you get. But Deku was shocked. And then All Might insults himself. He does a little self-deprecation to try to lighten the mood because he's a hero. And a hero has to face everything with a smile. And he tells Deku, I really am pathetic. He said, I told you what makes a great champion. Well, basically, I told you the aspects to make a great champion, but I realized I wasn't living up to my own ideals. He blows the fucking creature away, saves Bakugo, saves Deku. Everyone's fucking hype. Woo, yeah, Detroit fucking smash. Shit's hype. Everything goes away. Deku walks off. He just kind of lets everything fade in. But All Might, first person that fights him down is Bakugo. Bakugo's like, hey, don't think I owe you anything because you didn't really help me. I didn't need your help. And it's basically the closest thing he's going to get to a thank you from Bakugo for a long while. Because Bakugo's still in his early tsundere phase. I said, asshole with a heart of gold. That's what a tsundere is. He's kind of the mastery of the asshole with a heart of gold. Because he's an asshole in a way that's human and not villainous. He rides the fucking line so many times, but there are so many moments of heroism with Bakugo, it's not for real. That's probably the genius of My Hero Academia, is not only the characterization of Deku, but the characterization of Bakugo and Deku and Bakugo's hero, All Might. Those three are very core in how everything sort of unravels. But after Bakugo says that, All Might shows up and he's like, hold on, there's something I want to tell you. He basically says, hey, you really in that moment, you really, it's like seeing a kid without powers run in when all the pros just stood on the sideline. It inspired me to be better. And that alone is already more than Deku ever expected. He's already starting to cry. You've already got Deku feeling some emotions right now because his hero basically just thanked him for bringing him back from the brink. He basically says, he's telling him, you reminded me why I'm a hero. And then that's when we get the explanation of the plot engine, the plot device that comes up multiple times in My Hero at the appropriate moment. He says, he's like, basically, like, Deku's like trying to like pass it off, but then All Might's like, I'm not finished. He said, there's something I didn't fully tell you back then. He's like, every hero, all the great heroes, have stories from their childhood or from their early career that defines them as great heroes. And they all have one thing in common. Their feet started moving on their own before their mind could act. And it's a very powerful statement. Even as like a watcher, it hits you. It's like you realize in that moment, everything we were thinking, everything we wanted Deku to be, he already is. When he said to himself, because he's technically a step beyond most heroes, he doesn't have powers. He doesn't have any control like they do. But in that moment, he could still have the heart of a hero, a true great hero. Because we heard this earlier from Bakugo too. It's actually twinning from earlier in the episode. Bakugo basically says that all heroes have stories about how they're awesome when they were younger. And that's basically why he wants to go to UA, because he wants to be a greatest hero, just like his hero All Might. It's a very cocky way of looking at it. But he's got it wrong. The stories aren't about them being awesome, because no hero never truly explains what they mean by that. Because only the greatest heroes know. He's like, all the great, and All Might explains it to us, all the greatest heroes have one thing in common. Their feet started moving before their mind reacted. That even kind of comes back into the entire theme of the song. It's fucking named You Say Run. The run and dash that he did in To Danger. Everything is all around that ideal. All around that central core. The fucking writer built it into the story itself so that when this moment happened, it meant more. Something a lot of writers forget. Even good writers forget. Only great writers truly go that extra mile. Your Tolkiens, your Robert Jordans, your Tad Williams, your Mercedes Lackeys. Some people may even say J.K. Rowling. I'll argue with you on that. You can have it. I might give it in on you. I give you that more than any of the other fucking novels from the modern day you could probably pull up. Maybe Jim Butcher. I could give you Jim Butcher, because Jim Butcher is a goddamn good writer. But when we're talking about the greats, it's like in this moment, and it's in that moment Deku starts to break down, and the flashback starts coming up again, and he finally admits to us what we knew and what his mother should have known. He's like, that's not what I wanted to hear. He's like, all those years ago, that's not what I needed to hear, Mom. And she's basically, instead of, when Deku pointed at the screen, seeing All Might, he pointed at the screen and said, Mom, can I still be a hero too? And instead of like doing like the parent thing you do to try to encourage your kid, she's just as heartbroken as him. And in that moment, she lets herself be human, and she apologized to Deku, because partially she feels responsible for it, because her quirk and his dad's quirk are both very weak, both very nondescript, and so she feels guilty, because that's a whole thing. It's like a cultural thing. You could get into that with an actual Japanese person. Maybe they can get more into it. I feel it's more of a cultural thing, looking at bloodlines and things like that. But because be honest, I don't think there wouldn't be many Americans that would apologize to their child for having a shit power, like in that scenario. That's a very, very Eastern thing, very Asian thing. I see it in a lot of cultures over there, not too much in our own culture. But in that moment, he says, that's not what I wanted to hear. And then we get the final scene. We get the scene where All Might is looking on him, and he's like, basically saying, I want to correct one thing. He's like, you can be a hero. He's basically saying, you can become a hero. That's when we finally get the song that is the core of every other evolution of like You Say Run, Jet Set Run. I call it Bomb King Run, but everyone calls it Deku's theme, Kachan's theme, Bakugo's theme. I think Bomb King Run's a cool like nickname for it. Sorry. If you do it right and say it too fast, it's Bombing Run. Like, But in that moment, Deku breaks down and cries, and we get the basic Deku style of big crocodile tears, like we're looking at a fucking basically like we're looking at a Hayao Miyazaki film. There's fucking crocodile tears everywhere. And in that moment, he realizes what he needed to hear. And like I said, he needed to hear it from someone that unfortunately mattered more than his mother. In that case, you would usually have like I said, a father that would come in and say it. But in this case, because All Might basically becomes a surrogate father for Deku, that's why it needs to be All Might. Especially when what we learn next happens. Basically, we eventually learn that All Might too was born quirkless. And his power is not his power. It is a power known as One for All. One that could be passed down from one user to another willingly. And that is the crux of the story. That's when Deku realizes he has way more in common with his hero than he ever could have imagined. Both him and his hero were both that great hero. They were both born quirkless. And because they were born quirkless, even though they both were perfect candidates to be a hero, it was near impossible for them to become a hero. And just like his master did for him, Yoshinori / All Might does it for Deku and says, I can offer you this. You can basically become the next me. You can pick up where I left off, and you can be the symbol of justice, the symbol of peace. And that scene, that moment of run is, like I said, it fucking resonates throughout it. So many Rising episodes, like fucking his best buddy, I always forget his fucking name. I know it begins with I want to say it begins with an I. Fast Boy. Ingenian is his hero now. I'm just going to call him Ingenian. Ingenian, in his Rising moment, also has an instant like that. But he doesn't, his isn't as important. His is not running into the fight. His is running from it. His is saving somebody. Because in his Rising arc, a villain teaches him the error of his ways. And that error of his ways is what eventually turns him into a hero and what leads to one of the most beautiful moments later in the series when he picks up Deku for like one of the final scenes. It's so beautiful. It's like that moment he picks up Deku, the way Deku metaphorically lifted him up in his lowest moment, willing to push him forward. And it's also twinning back to what happens in, I believe it's episode 3, when he goes to UA and he finally does the exam. There's a moment when he is the only one that stands up to the unstoppable the unstoppable fucking, they basically have to fight these robots, and these robots, there's like, all these robots are worth points except this one, the Zero robot. It's not worth any points because it's basically unbeatable. If you see it, try to save people and run. Deku is the only one who faces that in the actual thing. He's willing to put his body on the line to save someone because he sees somebody in the way, Uraraka, and he has to save her. And that moment is what twins later for his buddy Ingenian for when he has his Rising moment. Like I said, all of them come back to this. Even the pro heroes who, as exposed as the series goes on, aren't as good of heroes as All Might or Deku. They're not true heroes. They're in this for different reason. They're in this for glory, they're in this for money, they're in this for a job, or they haven't really awakened who they are. Because we have multiple pro heroes, some that even quit, that have that moment like Deku, where their feet move before they can. And it's in those moments they realize that they are a real hero. They can't just sit by and watch someone be hurt. That is the essence of a hero, is to meddle where you're, basically meddle where you don't belong. It's portrayed in a way of like, hey, heroes are basically in a way kind of unwanted, interlopers, but that's because they're the type of person that can't stand by and watch someone weak get picked on, or somebody basically get killed, X on, so on and so forth. They will never stand by and watch all this happen. And as I'm just kind of ending up, and all this stuff. It twins in the very end of it for spoilers. And the very end, one of the in Deku's rising moment. Like, you're like, why didn't he have a fucking rising moment? He's the main character. His rising had to be different from everyone else's. His rising moment is when he's finally able to face the big bad on equal terms. He's finally facing the motherfucker that hurt his master, that nearly killed his master, that has done all this to his friends, that have ruined Hero Society, has basically been the demon that One for All has been fighting for decades, even beyond his own thing. It's the moment when he finally becomes a hero, because even in that moment, when he's almost powerless, he can still stand up and still be a hero, and he still runs forward. The only difference this time is he's not running alone. And the twinning moment happens near the end when he gets the final punch for this scene. I won't spoil what happens. He basically goes in for the final punch, and we get the exact parallel of him running from the beginning. You're getting the more swelling, epic, orchestric version of Yusei Run in Deku's theme. You're getting him going in. All of his classmates who have been inspired by him, and all the classmates from other schools that have been inspired by him, and all the pro heroes that have been inspired by him, are all alongside fighting with him, helping him get there, because they know he is the one that can finish this. He is the one that can beat the big bad. He has the key, so on and so forth. And you get the moment twinned down to the fucking T, where you even get the side panel run over the music as the fucking violins in the orchestra swell, as there's a moment earlier on where he gets his hero name. His hero name is Deku, and it's basically an ironic hero name, because he basically got it from Bakugo. Bakugo would always call him Deku, which basically meant like a nobody, worthless, something like that. But the woman who loves him, and I won't say her name specifically, but if you watch the series, you'll know if you remember this point. The woman who loves him basically gives him his name, because she tells him, she's like, well, I kind of like the name Deku. And he's like, the reason I like it is because it sounds very close to the Japanese. If written in a certain way, it sounds very close to the Japanese phrase, Ganbayo, you can do it. So he basically takes that thing that was his shame, or what Bakugo tried to make his shame, and makes it his strength, makes it his hero name. And in that moment, you get that again. You see everybody who ever believed in him, everybody around the world who's watching, just yelling, Ganbayo, Ganbayo, just you can do it. And as you know from her, even if you don't speak Japanese, that is basically them calling out for his name, the prayer that, like, hey, we're carrying you forward, we're with you here, you can do this, you are the hero we need. And it's like the side by side, and then the final person, just like how it was in the first lineup, the final person, the two that mean the most, show up. Because while this is happening, All Might's very hurt, and he's over here, and he's like, what I never got to tell you. And you see him flashback to it. I do hate that it had to do a flashback, but I do get it, because the flashback was the only real way to support All Might's internal monologue, so I won't give it as much shit as I usually would flashbacks, because it's technically a needed flashback. But he's like, I never got to tell you that ever since that day, you've been my greatest hero. And right when he says that phrase, we see him jump forward towards the big bad, and we see what he's currently dressed like. We see original Deku in his original hero costume. Then we see Deku from that day when he was in his junior high uniform with his bag running towards the villain. And you see him right now as he's dressed and he's going forth towards the punch the big bad. And All Might's words resonate. You were my greatest hero, Saicho Shiro, And right after that, right after the surrogate fathers, putting forth and resignation in it, the mother runs forth because everyone everywhere in the world is watching this. Everyone everywhere is being inspired by this moment. Even America, it's like, I don't give a fuck. We're sending in all the damn heroes. I don't give a shit. That's how we roll. Because everybody, like, up to this point, like, oh, we're holding back our heroes because, you know, what if you guys lose and he gets out and we need our heroes to help? But we already had our best hero go over there on our own because we're fucking American. That's how we roll. When somebody we care about is in trouble, and in this case, All Might was in trouble, and it was her fucking mentor and her hero, she wasn't gonna not show up to help her fucking hero. She didn't give a damn what she was told. Fuck orders. That's how we roll. America, baby. But any damn way. Basically, in that moment, his mother finally runs forward. And hers is the only one that is different. Because she knows him by who. She basically says, go forth and do it. You can do it, Izuku. And she doesn't say it in Ganbayo. She actually says it in the more proper term, you would do it. But it is the same thing. But you can tell it's meant to be more intimate because it's mother to son. It's like, it's finally her, after this entire series, being afraid of what's going to happen to him. Being afraid of how much he's hurting himself and how much he's putting himself through. And it's scaring her to the point where it's giving her anxiety attacks and all that. She's finally able to see her son not only be a hero, but accept him as the hero. And seeing her last among all of those in that twinning moment from the parallel from the beginning works as the most amazing fucking bookend to the beginning and ending of what is Deku's Rising. And we don't even just get Deku. It specifically said this is Midoriya Rising. This is him finally becoming Deku in truth. Even though, I'm not going to spoil it. Even though in this moment, if you ever watch it, you'll see what I mean. It's a very bittersweet moment, this one. And then even later on, it twins a little bit more because he does have to get one more punch in. Because, of course, the big bad just can't let it in that easily. Especially one as crazy as this one. So who else would show up but the homie? Fucking Bakugo shows up to help his buddy the way Deku ran in to help him. Even though he was on his deathbed, even though he was bleeding, even though that boy just came back from the brink of fuckery, he was like, no, my homeboy needs me. I'm fucking going. He goes in, and then the other homeboy, Deku's like, nah, let me help you out, dog. Gives him a little boost. It's like, bam! And it's like, it's a beautiful little moment. Because it's the moment where the two of them finally are the heroes they wanted to be. Which makes the next episode all the much more bitter, sweet, and sad. But it also makes the epilogue so much more rewarding. And if you haven't watched Boku no Hero / My Hero Academia, go fucking watch that bitch. Because of all the anime that is out there, probably many more that many people feel are legendary. You know, they'll say Vinland Saga, all this and that. I don't really give a fuck. When it comes down to the anime that matters, I feel My Hero is the one that matters the most in this instant. And I say that because it's the next in the line. Well, it's the next in the unbroken line of inspiration. Back in the day, there was a little manga called Dragon Ball that eventually ran all the way to Dragon Ball Z. It had one of the nicest fucking endings. Changed anime forever. Created worlds of power scaling in anime. Created transformations, really. And like you know, you can argue Sailor Moon has transformation, but without Dragon Ball, you would not have the overzealously powered shonen type anime that we have. Fucking that. Dragon Ball leads to the original big three. Which, for anyone who doesn't know, from my generation, the original big three: One Piece, of course, it's still going, but One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. They were the big three at the time. They were both rolling at the same time. They both had the different endings, but they were both clearly inspired by Dragon Ball. Yeah, I knew I was gonna die. That's why I kept going until I got to the end. But like I said, then they were clearly inspired by Dragon Ball. So much so that there is a very famous meme picture of the basically the anime version. They take a scene from Naruto where there's a picture of the past sensei and the students. And one of the students is Naruto, and Naruto's picking up and looking at it. And instead of looking at it and seeing Sasuke, Sakura, and him and Kakashi, the sensei's Goku. And the other two besides Naruto are Luffy and Ichigo. And it's setting it up, and then some people even went on to like show the next one was Boku no Hero. Because after Naruto did what it did, after Bleach has done what it's done, and what One Piece is about to do what it's do, no one really thought we were ever going to have a big three again. And we really never will have a big three like that again. But the one carrying the torch for that shonen torch that is very important for the evolution of shonen is Boku no Hero. It goes from Dragon Ball to the big three to Boku. Because Boku was the next logical evolution for it. Taking the insanity and power of Dragon Ball and mixing it with the classical storytelling of the Western variety. Thus bringing it down to Earth fantasy-wise. And by bringing it down to Earth fantasy-wise, it really creates. And the thing is, you can even argue the precursor to Dragon Ball would be Star Wars, because My Hero is clearly very, very heavily inspired by Star Wars. That's why they have fucking the Dagobah incident. They have fucking Gran Torino, who's basically Yoda. All Might is basically Obi-Wan. So on and so forth. Everything builds upon itself. Every hero's journey builds upon another hero's journey. Every show will inspire someone from a generation to make the next thing to inspire the next generation. That is how creation should be. You take things that have been done and evolve them. You take things that have been done and do something new with them to evolve them. You don't go back and make the same thing again with a slightly different name and call it evolution. And that is why Halo Campaign Evolved sucks dick, and the modern gaming industry, and the AAA scene at least, is cooked. And with that, and our little tour through Project Zomboid's new stuff, I know I'm not the greatest one to do this. I'm no Keza, I'm no Mr. Brola. I'm not the greatest at the game, but damn it, I love the game, and I really enjoy everything I've seen so far. Next time, hopefully I can survive long enough to get to West Side and up to Louisville, so I can see what happened to them. I also heard Muldrow's gotten a really big glow up as well. Part of it's already been seen. That's why I didn't start in Muldrow. But I'm really curious what happens up. So, but it was a fun little day. Nice little stream on a Wednesday. And I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. I hope maybe you fucking learned something. And with that, I bid you all adieu. This has been the Shepherd. And may the ashes one day rise again.